All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Variant Roles and Friday Night Fate. I am your dungeon/game master this evening, Adam, and I use he/him pronouns. We will be returning to the wonderful world of the Portland Files, and I will let my illustrious and ineffable cast introduce themselves. Who are they playing? And let's see, what should we do this week? What is one of your aspects that you think might change anytime soon? Let's go with that. And we will start with Nick.
Aha, I knew it. I was unmuting my microphone. Hello, I am Nick. I use he, him pronouns. I play Percy Hamilton, who also uses he, him pronouns. He speaks to ghosts. And I think the aspect that will be changing is winning back the wizard's trust, because I feel like we're halfway home.
That makes a lot of sense. Moving laterally to Danielle.
Hi everybody, I'm Danielle. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character Harmony Ward, who is one of our two wizards. And I think, so I did actually evolve one of my aspects, and I'm kind of hoping that one doesn't go any further for the moment. So if you asked me to pick a different one, I think I would say I feel like her Guardian of the Cur tablet aspect might end up getting evolved in some fashion in the near future.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all. Good times. All right, continuing the counterclockwise maneuver. It's clockwise maneuver we're doing. Kasara.
Hi.
Natalie.
Yeah, /Natalie. Whichever name we feel like going with. Good.
Your name cycled.
Yeah, it does that. My name's Natalie. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Kasara DeWitt, who uses she, her pronouns. My aspect most likely to change, and I hate that I'm about to say this one, because I would love to say it's something like flirting with danger, but I greatly doubt that. That one just would get worse, not go away. Probably averse to feeding. I'm a little worried that might change. Yeah, because let's be real, everybody needs therapy. Ethical shade of gray and flirting with danger aren't going anywhere.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I've got no plans for this. Adam's got all the plans.
Yep, I have all the plans. No,
so
not plans here.
Maniacal laughter from that area.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens there. Moving along to Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm very happy to be back this week, playing Andy. Andy and I both use he, him pronouns. What aspects do I think is going to change soon? I feel like it's either going to be Roomed for a Purpose or Everybody Calls Andy. Partly because I think folks are starting to come into their own and realize, like, hey, we don't have to call Andy. We can handle this, or at least we think so.
Excellent. And hello, Dice Ferrari. Thank you for rating us and continuing the love that our channels share mutually forever and ever. Welcome to the shenanigans. We are just introducing ourselves, so you haven't missed any of the drama. Next, we move on to CJ, who has to unmute himself.
You guys haven't missed any of the drama if you haven't watched any of the past episodes or anything. Nothing really terribly's gone on or anything. We haven't really screwed the universe in 5, 6, 7 different ways. No, you're fine. Hi, I'm CJ. I use he, him pronouns. My character Cole uses he, him pronouns right now. I'm your favorite Puka Changeling Car Thief, and I think if any of my aspects are going to change in the next little bit, it's probably looking for a good out. I don't think he's looking to go anywhere he's at that tipping point of, screw it.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes.
So, maybe he might look for a good out and make a stand in the Bahamas somewhere. I mean, if he has to stop running and live somewhere.
The Bahamas ain't bad. All right. Well, last but certainly not least, rounding out tonight's introductions is Selena.
Hello, I am Selena. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Nikki Anderson. And I think I'd hate for it to happen, but I think it's not going to be my decision to change it. I think it'll just happen. Is Future Alpha my aspect? Future Alpha. Because I could definitely see that happening.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we will see if any of that comes to pass or if something entirely else comes to pass as we continue our story tonight. But first, last time in Portland and the surrounding area, because we kind of went a little bit far afield of Portland last week, Nikki confronted her parents, which ended spectacularly.
It was wonderful. It's fine.
As all family drama usually does. And so eventually the team started making plans to deal with this little problem of lighthouses spontaneously crumbling to the ground, while also deciding that a great idea is to contact Annabelle and try to surprise meeting her. It was amazing. So the team split up because everyone knows in every RPG, splitting the party is the first go-to move, and then everyone says, "Why are we doing this?" the whole time. It's my favorite.
Best plans.
It was the best plan. It really was. So Harmony, Kisara, and Cole decided to set up a meeting with Annabelle, though it was led by Kisara, trying to covertly pump Annabelle for information in a very potentially flirty / maybe joining this bad dark side, fake mole, maybe not fake mole, who knows what's going on way. And so they tried to go to Sushi Books, where there is a neutral ground location. And they tried to get there early. But a fate point later in a broken car, they managed to get there just on time-ish. But it turns out that Annabelle showed up late. So their hurrying to get there was for naught. Although when Annabelle showed up, she showed up by herself, no entourage, and proceeded to talk with Kisara for a bit, dropping that she knew that both Harmony and Cole were nearby, and sort of teasing Kisara about her friends and her choice of comrades, and they were sort of getting... they were exchanging words. And at one point, Annabelle leaned over to try and feed off of Kisara almost contemptuously and was hurled across the location in like the front foyer area and crashed into a bunch of tables and turned into something that wasn't quite normal. Not really sure what it was. And very loudly and in a voice that was not Annabelle's own, or at least not a voice that any of you had heard before, promised Kisara was going to feel pain, perhaps a death threat or two, and decided to leave. Luckily for the group, their original plan of trying to track Annabelle functioned somewhat because Cole Trickle rolled a hell of a burglary roll and managed to put 2 pieces of things on Annabelle. And so the wizard got to wizarding and started to track Annabelle. So we cut away from there because that's clearly what we should have done. It's cut away from the drama and went to where Nikki and Percy were, trying to investigate the crumbled lighthouse. They managed to con their way onto the island using a ferry and a guy who was very confused about what was happening, but went along with it. And they realized that not only had the lighthouse come down pretty violently, but there was also a bunch of fires, and it was much worse than the newspapers had been reporting. So something quite drastic had happened. Unfortunately for the crew, Nikki knew the sheriff that was there on duty, and they were confused as to why exactly Nikki was very far out of her jurisdiction. They managed to lie convincingly enough to let it pass, though definitely the sheriff knows Nikki was there and knows who Nikki is, so that totally won't be a problem later. When they were there, Manny and Percy found a ghost, who they found's name was Kieran, and it told Percy that they were waiting for Siobhan. And they kind of had this strange knowledge that they were a ghost, but at the same time, they were also slightly disconnected from reality because they kind of repeated the same phrasings after talking with him long enough. It's basically like an NPC in a video game. If you got to the end of the dialogue thing, it looped and went back through the dialogue options. There wasn't really any other paths you could take. And a fate point later, Manny was suddenly sucked into somewhere, and the ghost and Manny were gone. Freaking Percy the heck out, and Percy almost did a thing without thinking, and Nikki very quickly grabbed him and calmed him down a little bit. And so he did the thing that he was thinking about doing without thinking, but he did it a little bit more sleight of handy and a little bit more sneakily, rather than just opening a way immediately. Eventually, you opened a way into the Never Never, and were pulled into the pocket dimension here that was the ghost's depths, and where you saw the events that transpired. You saw some kind of shadowy figure approach the lighthouse, was rebuked by Kieran. It laughed at Kieran, and you did not see, but you heard a struggle that ended likely in Kieran's death, and the figure walked outside and essentially brought the tower down with a gesture. You replayed the event several more times and kind of got a better detail, basically using the ability to enhance some of the things, and you were able to kind of track pieces here and there. But eventually, you reappeared on the island where the sheriff watched you appear out of nowhere, freaked out, and threatened to arrest you for not any particular charge, just like you clearly had to be under arrest because you appeared out of nowhere. Y'all left with Sheriff Adams quite confused about what just happened, but the last thing we saw was she was calling it into dispatch. So you have been reported, your location was reported on the island. And then we cut back to Team Wizard, who was trying to track Annabelle using magic and was doing a pretty good job of it. The thaumaturgy spell went off without a hitch, and they were led to Yara International, where Annabelle was coming out of the building and getting into her car again and driving away. The characters freaked out for about a solid 5 minutes, yelling at the microphones. You can go back and check. It's probably that long. And in case any of you at home are wondering, Zach freaked out as well when he watched it, got up, and he freaked out in chat for about 5 minutes. It's fine. Everything's great. And so they decided to try to keep following Annabelle, only to discover that they themselves were being followed by 3 or 4 SUVs that started to try to pin them in a maneuver where they were going to try to stop them. Cole, being the driver, made a snap decision and stole it, or drove it like he stole it, and managed to ride out a awesome driving roll several times, and managed to lose the Yara International SUVs that were attempting to pull him over. They were able to ditch the car and run away into the night / mid-afternoon, technically. And so we begin with a bit of a time jump with a bit of a time skip backwards, because earlier that day, unbeknownst to all of his comrades and colleagues and friends and acquaintances, Andy, you had a meeting with Madeline. It was scheduled, and so you left for your meeting with Madeline. Where do you normally go to meet with Madeline?
Normally we go to Sushi Books.
Right. So why didn't you go to Sushi Books this day?
They were having some kind of issue with they don't only make sushi there, I imagine. So a delivery was running late maybe, and their grill was on the fritz, so they were having a late open.
Okay.
So be open in time for, the meeting that happens later, but they weren't open that morning or whenever it was that Madeline and I are meeting.
Okay. So where did you meet then?
Somewhere nice and mundane.
Like a local coffee shop, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Starbucks.
Yeah, a non-sponsored coffee establishment.
Yes, some locally owned place.
And so you did. And it was Madeline essentially informing you that your books were doing quite well. They were starting to sell a number of copies. And she was hoping you had any information about your next manuscript.
Well, it's been had a lot going on. It's taken me out of the office the past couple of days, but it's given some ripe material, I think. Vampires are kind of back in vogue now, right? So.
Yes, I believe they are. Although you have to be careful with saturating the market, and you don't want to come off as stealing anyone else's thunder.
Oh no, got I think an original take on vampirism that doesn't have to do with drinking blood or sparkling in the daytime or that kind of thing.
Well, I guess that's two things to avoid, I suppose. But all right. I guess hopefully that will be done soon. You think done soon?
Well, if I can get some downtime, then yeah, I can have a rough draft to you quickly. I think I have the pitch for it about ready to give you. Are you needing something right away?
Oh no, we just hadn't had a book in a little bit, and normally that's fine. Your first several manuscripts did well enough, but all of a sudden there seems to be a demand for the Andy Spell books, and I just wanted to make sure that not that you weren't resting on your laurels, because there weren't really that many laurels, but just that you weren't giving up, because suddenly they're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. Do you know why there's been an uptick? Has there been, I don't do the social media thing, but has there been like more chatter about them or something?
A little bit. It just we've been tracking sales in different cities throughout the country, and it just all of a sudden your books are selling.
Huh. That's great. I'm just curious what tipped the scales, you know.
Yeah, well, publishing is a weird animal. Sometimes just things take off, and we really don't know why.
It's true. Well, yeah, I've got an idea for probably what could be a couple of books. They'll involve, like I said, some vampires and some fairy legends, that kind of thing. Modernizing some stuff a bit, but
Okay, that sounds great, Andy. I look forward to seeing the draft.
great. Are you staying in Portland long?
No, I got to get back to the city, the old grindstone.
Right. Well, that's good. That you're busy, not that you're not staying around for a couple more days.
Oh, I knew what you meant. Yes, thank you. Well, it was good seeing you as always, Andy. I kind of miss our old place. It's much more unique than this, but I won't send you to coffee.
I don't know what's going on with him. Has she always kind of jittery, or does she seem uneasy?
You remember Madeline is always a little bit of, what's the right word? She wasn't necessarily a great publicist, but she's a really good editor. And she was promoted to her position because several other people above her left to do something else. And so she's kind of in this weird position where she's a really good copy editor. And she doesn't really like to deal with people very often. And so she's a little anxious around people. And
being an agent isn't fun for her.
Yeah, no, it's like this. It's like the next step in her career, but she really isn't she's not really a fan of being a people person. And when she's around you, she's actually less anxious. You've been at events where she kind of loses her cool a little bit, and is just very, very, very like when there are lots of people around. And so this is actually relatively calm for her.
Okay.
But it also seems like she was happy to be your agent because you did fair to middling, like you weren't an amazing author. And she seems like she's getting more nervous the better you're doing, because she's worried like you're gonna have to start going on tours and things like that, and like she's gonna have to go with you. And it's kind of like the nightmare scenario where like she had this author who was doing just middle of the road, and she was fine with that. And now you're doing well, and she's like, crap.
I have to go to some con somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Be surrounded by people.
Like she's starting to see like the headlights of like fame, and she's just like, no, I don't want this.
Okay.
Okay. But you've always liked her because she is a great editor.
Sure.
So like she's really good at that part of her job, but she doesn't really like people, and it's part of the reason why she was an editor. Because she could just read and not have to deal with people.
Right. Okay.
No, it does not seem like anything nefarious, despite what the chat is saying is going on.
Sure. I mean, okay. I just wanted to check and see what her baseline kind of was.
Yeah, you get the sense that it's pretty much standard operating procedure for Madeline.
Is there anything new happening in Boston?
I
haven't been down that way in a while.
Well, not really. Same old, I guess. I don't really get out much, you know. I think maybe we won the World Series recently. I don't know. I don't really follow baseball.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that happened.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Weather down there is doing all right. Nothing, it's been kind of wacky here some, so.
Oh yeah, I noticed when I drove up that you guys are having crazy weather. I've never seen anything like that. No, down in Boston, it's perfectly sunny. It was weird.
Well,
it's almost like you've got a storm just like sitting on your doorstep. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But that's good that that down where you're at, it's all right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a vacation.
Yeah. Well, unless it follows you.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that to happen.
Nope. Well, anyways, Andy, I better go. I have a few more clients to see, and I will await your manuscript with bated breath. But like not holding my breath because I might die. I mean, haha.
Sure. We wouldn't want that.
Nope. All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you
course.
being flexible, and
You too.
I can't wait to read your next one.
I look forward to being able to hand it to you.
Excellent. All right. Well, you know my number, and if anything comes up, give me a call.
I will.
Excellent. And she kind of like gets up and she pays for like both of your drinks and things, and kind of like waves and heads out. And as you're kind of like having a moment to yourself.
Oh yeah, I've got to write a book.
Yeah. Ah, shit, I gotta write a book. A middle-aged man, like kind of like shambles up to the table, in kind of like a very meek manner of just like, are you Anderson Wells?
Yes.
I was told that if I had a problem, I could talk to you.
What kind of problem? You can always. I'm always happy to help where I can.
Well, it's difficult to explain, but and he kind of like does that mundane thing where they're grappling with the fact that they saw something supernatural and they don't want to admit it to themselves.
Sure.
Um,
Just tell me what you can. I've heard a lot of weird stuff. It's okay.
I saw a man-sized cat rip someone in half.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Where and when was this?
And I wasn't drinking, I promise. It was, it just was so big and so scary.
That would be real scary. Not a lot of panthers and stuff up this way.
Oh, it wasn't a panther. It was like a human cat. It was really scary.
Okay. So where was this and when? When did this happen? Here, sit down, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. And he like kind of like misses the chair at set like first and like is like, oh god, yeah. How do I sit down? Like, how does this work? And eventually manages to sit down. I was just on my way to work and I was walking along and all of a sudden I heard a shout and normally, you don't go down alleys or anything like that. That's stupid. But I just seen this like PBS special where normally it's like a woman and help, and I was like feeling really bad, and I was like, no, I have to stop. And then he kind of like gets like his face drains like to white. He's like, and it's just like I saw half of a body lie there, and there was blood everywhere. And he's like, "Excuse me," and he just like runs away, and he runs towards the bathroom. You kind of you're like, "Oh, yeah."
Oh boy.
Yeah. And 5-ish minutes go by, and he kind of comes back with like a paper towel, and he's like, "I'm sorry, it just smell was a lot, and I'm very sorry."
I'm sure that it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, but was it like, but the people, I don't know, someone said your name, and like I was hoping it was just a movie, that I stumbled on a movie set, but it sure didn't smell like a movie, Mr. Wells.
Yeah. Who told you to come to me?
I don't know. It was just this nice woman who said to you, it's definitely you. You said your name, and then
Okay.
they had a picture, like from a book.
Okay. It's okay. So you were on your way to work, and was this today that this happened, or a few days ago, or
Yesterday,
yesterday?
I wasn't drunk when I saw the cat kill the person, but then I got drunk later because it was scary.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't go to work that day.
That's understandable. If you still feel this way, you might not want to go to work today.
Yeah, that's probably good. I might be a little drunk now. Be honest with you.
You know what? Why don't you? Can we get a coffee?
You like kind of like, oh yeah, coffee'd be nice.
What's your name? You know my name, but I don't know yours.
Oh, why do you want to know my name? Like he gets a little like, you get the
Sure.
sense that he's a lot out of it right now, and so
Right.
he's like, how humans work is almost
He's-
a foreign concept to this normal person. Like he's just
He's-
very,
Blue screening right now.
yeah, a lot of blue
Right.
screening of death right now is happening in this man's brain.
I just want to know who I'm talking to. That's all.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. My name's Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Most people just call me Mikey.
Mikey. Okay. That's good to meet you, Mikey. I'm sorry it's like this, but
Yeah.
can I use rapport to try to like
Absolutely.
ease his nerves?
Absolutely.
That is a 3 total.
Okay. So you definitely are able to get a few things. You get the sense that this man has, you've probably encountered, because you're the longest lived of the bunch as far as we know,
Mhm.
managed to encounter several mortals, pure mortals, who accidentally stumble into the supernatural community. And being the community wizard dad, you're usually, if not one of the only people, you're one of the few people that kind of like, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it, it was nothing. And you almost sometimes use your author credentials to like spin tales of like, it probably was like this, and you were just having a bad day, and they're like, oh yeah, all right, yeah. And so you're not unfamiliar with this kind of trauma that happens, and this like
Sure.
brain is just kind of run away from itself and is hiding in the back corner of his mind, and he doesn't really want to face reality right now because it's scary as hell.
Right.
Um,
Saw a man cat rip someone in half.
yeah, he saw a Malk kill someone
Right.
in an alley. It was not fun. And so you are able to like suss out that he's dealing relatively well. Like he's not a babbling, like just on the floor, like crying and sobbing and screaming continuously. So that's good.
Mhm.
But he definitely has some trauma going on, and maybe even a therapist might be involved at some point in the near future. But for right now, he's like quiet noises, gentle, calm, no quick movements, tea, coffee, water, like just like slowly like nurse him back to being a human is kind of like what you're doing is pretty standard operating procedure for what you're used to. And you also get the sense that like he's not lying to you, he's not putting you on, like this is a genuine, he's very afraid. He's really not sure why he's talking to you, just because someone told him to find you, and so like his brain latched onto that and like went with it, like I gotta go find this dude named Anderson Wells, and that's where he went. And so he managed to find you because he had your picture.
Right.
It was maybe just dumb luck that he walked into the same coffee shop you're in. You don't know. Actually, it was fate.
It was fate.
So yeah, that's kind of that's the gist. And as you kind of go through the motions of a tried and true way of getting someone to calm down, he does in fact start calming down, and he is able to explain a few more details. He was near the old docks, and he works in one of the buildings uptown, and so he walks to work every day. And like he said, he heard struggling, and he wasn't going to say anything or do anything. But then he had just watched this, Nightline special about, 89% of da 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 is like can be prevented if someone would just say something, like just step in the alley, like, hey, what's going on, and then like it stops, like, and like being confronted with it is enough. And so he was going to be that 89%, and he picked the wrong percentage day to do that, basically. And so he is shaken, but is able to detail which alley it was, because he remembers that he was across the street from the local bakery that's on that street. And so you know Portland well enough to be like, I know where that is. Like you have the streets essentially memorized to some extent, because you've been living here for, like 50 years or something like that. So you have a pretty good idea of where that is.
Okay.
And you have calmed him sufficiently down where he's not a danger to himself or to anyone else, you think.
Okay. Once that happens and I've gotten those details, I write my phone number on like a napkin. This is my home phone. If you need to talk to somebody, you can call me. I don't want to be presumptuous. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody else about stuff, I know someone who, like, that's their job.
Oh, okay. That might be good. But
okay, I think I have her card somewhere. If you want it. She's the only therapist he knows.
Please give my card out, Andy. Please.
I think
that is all I want.
I think that's the next bingo square on Kasara's bingo is card by proxy.
Yes.
And so you're able to give not only your home phone number, but one of Kasara's business cards that you're like, oh, I have one right here. What the hell?
I've actually probably put them in everybody's pockets. Everybody has like a stack of my business cards at this point to hand out if need be. Right. This is how I get new clients, word of mouth.
Yep, absolutely.
She's very friendly, easy to talk to.
Okay, that's. Thank you. I thought I was crazy, or going crazy or something. It was a lot, and I am not going on any alleys. I might Uber to work every day now for the rest of my life. But it was nice meeting you, Mr. Wells. I appreciate it. Thank you,
Mike. You're welcome.
And he kind of like almost Irish goodbyes with like saying goodbye to you at the same time. Like he's like getting up, like leaving, and like not realizing that his body is like, go home. Like just go home.
Just leave.
And his body is like taking him away, despite like him trying to like say goodbye to you, and you're just like, bye.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, so I'll pay for the coffee, and then I'm gonna go to that alley.
All right. So,
I mean, the Malk's not still lurking around there, obviously.
Obviously not. So, you managed to head down to the, let's see, I forgot to pull up the Portland map, so I have to pull up the Portland map real quick here. Where will we say this bakery is? Let's just Google bakery. Because why not? Because I can do that, because that's how this works in this universe.
Because we live in the future.
We do live in the future. So it is the corner is Cake Face, Maine. It is a cake bakery. Sounds delicious, actually. And it is on Monument and Sheridan, and there is a few alleys in there that kind of like duck through, because this is kind of in the old neighborhood where there are actually cobblestones and stuff, and so it's a little bit more touristy and nicer part of Portland, Maine. And they
Gotcha.
have lots of little, like, they were probably streets at one time, but now they're too narrow, and so they actually are alleys because, you know, cars are bigger than they walk horses are. So the things that used to be streets can't be streets anymore. And so you managed to head down to Sheridan and the street I just said, Monument. You know
Okay.
that there's actually a few bakeries in that area because it's, like I said, a tourist trap.
Right.
And
Okay.
people like food.
So I will. There's no like police tape or anything anywhere, is there?
No,
Okay.
there is not.
Do I find any ectoplasm in any of the alleys, or would there still be any lying around after?
Why don't you
Okay.
make me an investigation check?
Okay. I am no longer just bad at those. I mean, I'm fair at them.
Oof.
Oof.
So that's a
Ugh.
-3
That's-
with a +2 is a -1.
Ugh.
So not great.
Poor soul.
Not great. Are we doing anything with fate points?
I mean, I do have this shiny new one
We do have a shiny
that I
new one.
just got. So -3 feels like I should just re-roll that probably.
All right. So which aspect are you invoking to re-roll?
Gonna say everybody call Landy,
Okay, that makes sense.
considering this guy literally called on me.
Hey, that's a
That's
much better
better.
turnaround. That is a +1, +2. So for 3.
Yeah.
You managed to find what you think to be the alley. You see the bakeries, and you see like a little path that kind of ducks in between a couple of buildings and a couple of residential area. And you don't see any ectoplasm, but you do see a decent amount of blood.
Oh boy. That's good.
But that's all you see. You don't see any body parts.
Are there any like score marks in the concrete or anything like claws would have raked across or anything like that?
With that investigation check, you see like a couple of marks of like scuffles and possibly like scratch marks in the wall, like maybe even as someone missed, like a Malk missed and just scratched the wall instead. But yeah, it's not a bad investigation check. You get the sense that this dude was killed and then eaten.
Ugh. Okay, that's unpleasant. Are there? They won't be useful to me, but are there any security cameras around here?
Unfortunately, because of Portland's pretty small as far as like
That's-
CCTV stuff,
Yeah.
but also because it's the nature of the alley, it's not really conducive to videotapes.
Not what I figured, but I just want to try to figure out who this guy was.
Yeah, if only there was some way you could
Yeah,
into the spectrum of reality and figure
That's-
some stuff out.
yeah, that's true. That would be a terrible idea. Because who knows what the hell I will see if I do that. But a Malk killing people is pretty bad. there any way I can like beg a compel out of it for a fate point to do it? Because like Andy would be pretty hesitant to generally because he knows what it does.
I think Andy cares too much.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be hilarious.
Great. So he concentrates and opens his third eye.
All right, so let me go to page 23223
Oh,
to make
God.
sure we do this right.
Yeah, I don't remember how
Whew.
looking at stuff at the site works.
All right, so you take an action to open the site, and you get a description of what you're seeing.
Cool.
So it takes a full action, but you're not in combat, so that just basically happens. So to understand what you are seeing, it basically is a mystical assessment action. So you're looking to discover something important about the target, which could manifest as an aspect or simply as a detail. After describing the metaphorical truth, the GM determines the intensity of what you behold, and the intensity is the difficult to describe using an adjective from the latter, and then you must essentially try and make a lore roll against the intensity to make sense of what you're seeing.
Okay. Great.
And then you have to defend against the site because it could hurt you.
Right.
Basically, it is a mental conflict. So,
Hooray.
And I use a mental attack against you using the intensity. And you must defend with discipline.
Great.
So, happy go fun times is about to happen. All right, ladies and germs, and all you other people. So, you are looking at this crime scene, basically.
I am.
And you know that it is a murder scene.
Sure do.
So you open your site. What is it? What is Andy's site? How does Andy see things?
Andy, I feel like sees things almost as almost like vignettes, like black and white, almost like silent picture style where they like move and then they would stop for a cue card kind of thing. Oh, obviously there's no cue card for dialogue, but like that's kind of what it looks like to him.
Yeah, okay. So you focus on the space just above your forehead, and you will your sight open. And the area around you bleeds its color out as the black and white grayscale kind of takes hold of this alleyway. You see almost in slow time, this person looks to be vaguely, you'd say maybe 20 to 30-year-old male, as Mickey had indicated. It looked like a dude that was torn in half. He was not wrong. It looks like a man in his, like I said, 20s, 30s, maybe a little older, or maybe a little younger and looks old. You're not really sure. And they enter the alley with their hands in their pockets, and they kind of are just shuffling along, seemingly minding their own business. And it kind of freeze frames with them pulling something out of their pocket. Almost like the vignette was, getting ready for that cue card.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is like this weird shift and twist and it's almost like the Malk kind of like does the stage villain like da-da, like jumps out all of a sudden, and the vision starts to twist around this Malk. There is a weird kaleidoscopic effect, despite it being in grayscale, around this Malk, as if the sight is trying to make sense of what is going on. And you see the Malk just tear into this person who is caught completely unawares. They didn't know this was about to happen. They had no idea going down this alley was a bad idea. It looks like now that you can see it, they were pulling their cell phone out of their pocket to make a phone call or something, and it gets tossed out of their hand. And you see this vignette almost speed up where the intensity of the violence just gets worse and worse and worse. And you see this weird white light shine down the alley. And as you turn, Mickey's face reveals itself like almost as if like coming out of the spotlight behind the camera to be like, ta-da. And then you see like his eyes go wide and he runs away. Like he like pulls back into the light and you assume takes off. And you see this Malk crouched over this figure that's just bleeding out all over. And you see the twisted and visceral nature of this, and it starts to seep into you. And color almost bleeds slightly back into the picture because this is starting to come into you. And you see the Malk is just going to town eating this body. And what draws your eyes is like in black and white films that were made today, sometimes bouts of color are used, like with Sin City and things like that, where they use color to like really highlight something because the rest of it's black and white.
Sure.
There is this strange pulsing red and black, but like a Vanta black, not a grayscale black collar that seems to be encircling the Malk's neck, and it goes up and covers its eyes as if the Malk can't truly see. And it is just feasting on this body with abandon. There is just like almost no reason to this thing. It's just killing because killing is good. And now you know Malks, and that's not necessarily too far out of their bailiwick. But Malks tend to be a little bit more careful with their prey. They tend to be pretty silent hunters, and this is pretty public and pretty open for a Malk, and that strikes you as odd. So I will say you need to make a lore roll against an intensity of this great vision that you have just received. So that is a 4.
Gonna wash for a 5 total.
So wash for a 5, which means you do. Andy is able to internalize this information and is able to make sense of this metaphysical like vignette that he has witnessed.
Okay.
Now you must make a discipline roll.
Defend against
your
magic. Oh no, it's a 3.
So you are allowed to know what the attack is before you decide whether or not to spend fate points.
Okay.
So I rolled a -1 with a +4 is a 3. So you would tie, and that means it's attacking you, so you would lose the tie.
Right, which would mean my sight stays open and I have to defend again.
Right.
Right.
And you might start seeing other things. And you would take a point of mental stress.
I mean, it's interesting to see other things, so sure, let's let it ride.
Okay. So I
can see Nick questioning my decision up there. That was definitely a Zach decision, not an Andy decision.
You can make another lore roll.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. If you do not... So, oh no, you're not choosing to keep it open. You tried to close it, and so I get to make another attack at you, and then we'll see what you see.
Oh, okay.
Because you're trying to close it, and it's trying to stay open. Oof. Okay. What's your discipline?
Discipline roll.
Yeah, sorry you wasted that.
That's okay.
Lovely wash on.
Oh, it
on a
didn't.
roll. Answer ground is still working, right? Hey!
Hey!
So a +3 with a +4 is a 7, and you
Dang!
trounce my 3 because I rolled a -1. But as you were fighting to close it, you essentially look into the Malk as it almost looks up at you, though you are not there at the same time, so it can't actually see you.
Sure.
But you see into the Malk. And as you are finally able to close your sight, you kind of like lurch to the side and grab the alley, because what you see inside of the Malk's mind and face is death and carnage on a scale that is staggering. You sense a voracious appetite that cannot be sated by anything or anyone, and it will continue to consume until there is nothing left to consume.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
And it's about that time where your friends are kind of getting in a car chase with a bunch of people from Yara.
I took a point of mental stress, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will cut Andy's shenanigans there. Team road trip. How y'all doing? Where you going?
Well,
No, that was Nikki and Percy. I was being a jerk talking about the Yara car, and then I talked about road trip team, which is the team that left Portland.
right?
I was gonna say, where did we go for a road trip to? I know we were driving, but
Not that far.
I don't think so.
So Nikki and Percy, what's up? What are you guys doing? Where are you guys going?
We're on a motorcycle.
You're on a motorcycle.
Oh, Selena, you're muted.
Percy's probably freezing.
Yes.
No, he
and
has a
Manny
jacket on. He has a jacket on. I made sure he was wearing a jacket.
Yes. Percy,
Yes, you
Safety.
forced a jacket on him.
Percy has a safety jacket on. It's fine.
Yeah, safety. Well, I wanted to make a call, but I can't do that right now. Is there anywhere specific you want to go to, Percy?
We should go back to Portland at the very least.
Well, yeah.
They were meeting with Annabelle, so we should probably go to Sushi Books.
Should we go to Sushi Books, though? We don't want to, interrupt their conversation or whatever Cass ends up doing. And we can't exactly just wait for them at the house.
Well, oh no. Harmony's there. I can't just call.
I guess. I'm trying to think of what other businesses of places we
And
can go.
Help
I guess we could go to Wilson's, I guess, and just hang out.
GM, help. Because for Percy, this is days. For Nick, this is weeks. What is the name of the original druid who we spoke to?
Siobhan.
Siobhan. Would Nikki know where Nikki was there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
were on
both
the couch hurt.
Yeah.
Could you drive me to Siobhan's? We should probably let
Yeah,
them
we should talk
know.
to her. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful idea. I head in that direction. I start driving to her actual house.
Yeah, the little yeah. The physical
least-
house that you know
yeah.
leads to the Never Never house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll now cut finally to the team disaster drivings. What y'all you doing?
I mean, Natalie's been making Kasara's business cards, which is about to go live anyways, as a side note. As far as I know, we're still in the car.
Well, no, we ditched the car though. So
Oh yeah, we
You
did
guys
ditch the
ditched
car. How close to? I would assume where Harmony and Andy lived. Were we able to ditch it? Because I think that was
Oh, not
kind of where
very.
we're. Hmm?
But I can acquire another car.
Oh yeah, we just wanted to get another car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say you got Cole's wise enough not to ditch it anywhere near any of anything related to any of you, so that you guys were veiled and glamored, so that hopefully that is enough. But still, Cole's a pretty consummate thief, and he knows what he's doing.
Parking lot at a gas station somewhere, and then
yeah.
maybe a gas station near a Walmart. No, you want to leave it at a gas station near a Walmart, because at a Walmart there's plenty of other cars to pick up.
I know.
So why
Never
don't you
mind,
go?
sorry.
Yeah. Why don't? Yeah. Why don't you roll me a burglary roll there, Cole?
I mean,
you can
Not
make,
that I thought about any of this, but
you can modify it with driving.
okay, yeah, sure. I'll take that extra +1. Let's whoops. There we go. See if that roll works. Come on. There we go. Sure. That's a +5 on the roll. Or no, sorry, +5 for the skill, +1 for the modifier, and +2 on the rolls. Total of 7. So that's yeah. Epic.
That's a heck of a roll. That is in fact an epic roll. So yeah, without a doubt, you are able to secure probably a slightly older model car, because the newer models are harder to jimmy the lock.
Cole is getting a taste in older cars, because the less electronics in them, the better.
Also, yeah. So you probably get some, not like crazy old pickup truck, but it's like something like that.
Probably like a Ford from the 60s or 70s, probably something along those lines.
Harmony breathes a huge sigh of relief. Oh, good. There's not enough computers in this one for me to short out.
No. And I mean, the radio may stop working, but that's okay. Well, I mean, if you have to pick one, yes, but I mean,
let's just get in and get going. The longer we stay out here.
Yeah, sorry, we probably.
Ladies, by all means, please.
I jump into like the back seat.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, it's a pickup, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say the back seat. So who's riding in the middle?
Oh no, I'm.
You're gonna hop in the back?
Yeah. Especially if there's any maybe this person may have had a toolkit or something like that may or may not be back there.
Yeah.
I mean,
cool.
On an epic roll, maybe there's some tools.
Yeah.
I'm Cole. Yeah. Cole will be very happy about something with a toolkit. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll with epic succeeding so well. Sure, toolkit, easy.
Perfect.
I'll get on the passenger seat then.
For.
And
I'm gonna lean down low. I'll pull out maybe even just a handful of either screws or a wrench or something like that, just in case something comes back and I need to.
And I'll open the little window in the back of the cab so we can actually talk to Kasara as she's laying in the bed of the truck.
and just off you go. Easy peasy. And you manage to make your way. Where are you going?
There, someone I want to talk to. I want to talk to the druid. Are you guys okay with that?
I haven't even met the druid, so I'm okay with that.
Y'all good?
I have never met a druid.
They haven't met the druid.
No, because you guys did that when we were missing.
Fair.
This is the two characters who haven't.
I'm okay, fair enough. We're gonna go meet a druid. I'm waiting for the.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is that something different than from what is it? Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. It's a druid. I'm pretty sure she's 12th level. Good lord.
It's too meta in here. It's too meta. The DM started to get a nosebleed. You gotta stop.
No, it's not a druid like Dungeons and I guess it's kind of
does she turn into animals? That would be kind of like Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly. So, I mean, if they've got magic, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Well, look at it. Last time she didn't turn into a bear or nothing, so
Well, let's find out. Maybe
Maybe
this
not.
time.
Okay, so
I'm just going.
perfectly timed because why not?
Yeah.
Everybody but Andy rolls actually hilariously.
Should we try and call everybody?
Hang on a
'Cause-
second. I think I noticed something while we were doing this, and it's gonna be perfect. Just a sec. Let me see. Where is it? It's there. Yep. So, turns out that another thing that's near Monument and Sheridan is the Portland Observatory.
Perfect.
So, Andy, you're walking down and you see a motorcycle pass.
Sorry, don't you have pretty high? Doesn't
Pretty-
Kasara
pretty-
have pretty
pretty
high
sure that was Percy
alertness?
Oh, yeah, no, I got pretty high alertness. Like, I've got a 4.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could see us driving by and you're like, is
I would
that
see
Andy?
I would see
It looks-
Andy and be like
I'm-
I would look back, but it's like I can't take him with me. I
He
don't have a
can't Uber
freaking
anywhere, so
sidecar.
he's just walking.
I don't
It's
have
like-
a
it's like
sidecar.
Two
Oh, but we
blocks
can get
away.
in.
It's literally 2 blocks away from where you are, Andy.
If we pass by Andy, Kasara would probably notice and
Yeah,
jump
Percy's
in.
just tapping Mickey on the shoulder. And be
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, so
I-
I
Andy
have
is able
I have
to,
the highest alertness, so I would know.
yeah,
I'm
Andy,
the thing
Andy
I'd
is
like
able
to
to
do.
follow. Andy is
Percy
able to
doesn't
follow
know that,
y'all.
though.
I'd love to just, if we see him, I want to just screech on the brakes, put the window down, say, get in, loser.
That's hurtful.
Come on, Andy, we're going to see a druid. Get in.
Sorry, it's a movie reference
I don't.
from
you can't-
after 1950, so
Which means he's never seen it. Come on, just
Yeah.
please get in.
just get in the back. We're
Oh,
going like
okay,
2 blocks.
all right. Why can't I just walk? It's 2 blocks. Oh, whatever.
Just get
Okay,
in.
he gets in the car.
So perfectly, you all back together, because that's how we roll in this place.
Don't ask where the truck came from.
And
But
I've learned by now.
you
Wait.
managed to make it to not the observatory, because you know better than to go to the observatory. You go to the physical home
Right.
that is on the other side of the street, which is actually on Monument Street. So you would have just had to walk down the street. You pull up and there's a house.
Yeah, we've actually they'll on the motorcycle get there before us because we actually stopped to prevent one of our friends from walking 2 whole blocks. Yes.
We're
yes,
courteous.
we are there
that.
wait.
What?
Instead, he
they
got to
all
ride
behind
2
us?
blocks in the
Why
back
are
of the
they-
pickup truck.
Why do they have a? What is happening?
They stopped for Andy because we couldn't stop for Andy. I don't have room on the bike for 3 people, so like I was gonna stop, but I had you, so I can't exactly stop.
Yeah. Okay. And he's like taking the jacket off, just like, yeah. All right. Okay. Hold on.
I stick it back in the compartment and stuff. Helmet off.
Yeah.
Sarah, I gave out one of your business cards to someone. I hope that's all right.
Oh, wonderful. I appreciate that.
Sure. You're the only therapist I know, and someone needed some therapy. So
Everybody needs therapy, darling.
you keep telling me.
Tell me that's one of your aspects.
It's also on her business card.
Yep, it absolutely is. Perfect. Perfect.
I love it. It's
So happy.
Fantastic.
So honestly, if everybody needs therapy, is she not getting a fate point every time she has some business cards?
No, she just gets fate points when I use it to screw her over.
It's true.
When Annabelle shows up for therapy, she got a fate point.
To complicate the
else's.
situation, not
Yes.
screwing us over. That's
It's
not what
complicated
this is.
clients. That's what it's when you give me a complicated client.
Yes, there we go.
Really what it is.
Or, death. Whatever.
Guys
Sometimes the
saw
same.
Death might
I-
show up. It's fine.
a Mulk rip someone apart. A normal
What?
person saw a
Oh,
Mulk
jeez.
rip someone apart.
Yeah,
know,
they're gonna need therapy.
Did you find
Yeah.
Hulk?
No, I don't. It happened yesterday. That's why I was down here. Actually, the alley where it happens just 2 blocks down. That way.
Oh, should we go?
We're already
I thought we
here.
were gonna go to a druid. You promised me a druid.
Oh, well, yeah,
We should talk to Siobhan anyway. I think
We're already here. Let's
she'll
just
have-
talk to
She's not a D&D druid. Because I'm sure we're all together by now. It's like, no,
What?
it's
Yeah.
not a D&D druid. I'm
Well,
sure they
so-
gone over this already, but
I
she's
tried
not a D&D
asking.
druid.
I did try asking.
It's okay.
Cole kind of, I think, laughed at me.
Oh yes, that's
well, the other thing, I'm going to break this to you gently. She's also not a halfling.
All right. Wow.
So I have no idea what you all are talking about.
You've never played Dungeons and Dragons?
What now? Is that like a
Per-
video game?
Percy
No,
strikes me.
No.
it's not a video game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played it.
Percy strikes me more of a.
games Andy can play.
Oh god.
and Harmony, for that matter.
Yeah.
Percy strikes me more as a Call of Cthulhu player. But
Percy enjoys backgammon.
there.
So you eventually knock
Jesus,
on
you
the
and my
back
great
door
uncle.
of this home that you know is maybe empty? Question mark. You're not really sure how this works because the last time Siobhan was here when you entered her home. So you all kind of wait for a second,
Yeah, I guess is there a way to call ahead?
and you hear a sound that sounds faintly like wind chimes, but like wooden wind chimes, not metal wind chimes. And then all of a sudden, you see coming out of the kitchen a woman whom most of you have seen before. Not all of you. She's dressed a little bit nicer than she was the last time. She's also not bleeding from her belly from being attacked by malts. And she's also not wearing her sword, but she stops and looks at the lot of you and smiles slightly and says, well, come in. What?
Hi.
I do
Sorry
for
to drop in unannounced.
We need to talk, and we should probably do it someplace you can sit.
Is this a bad time? Because we could make an appointment or something.
No, this is perfectly fine and somewhere I can sit. That sounds bad. Please come in.
Is she going to bring us through the way, or
Yeah.
okay?
So as you
So-
all,
She's officially inviting Kasara, right?
yes, she has invited all of you in. She's
And sorry,
please come
going in means going into.
her home.
Okay.
Though, yeah. Things. There's a lot of things going on with this person. It's fine.
Cool.
You all kind of come into their house, and Harmony and Kasara, you don't feel a threshold. Like, Kasara, you probably have had less experience trying to force your way in anywhere, so you're really not that. But
Yeah.
like Harmony, you can feel when a threshold parts around you.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing parted around you. You were invited in, but nothing parted around you. But nothing also pulled on you. So you're like, that's weird. And because this is the first time, you don't know what's coming. Maybe you do. Maybe when someone warned you, and all of a sudden she says, "Just a moment." She takes a deep breath and kind of centers herself, and this weird shimmering happens as it kind of falls across all of you. And suddenly you are no longer in her home that you were just in. You are in a glade that has a wicker gazebo-like open air canopy that is quite lovely and smells vaguely of springtime.
It's a neat trick.
You all have, there are various, all of the furniture that was there that was like plush, whatever, regular, is now wood furniture that is moss covered, where there were cushions. And it appears that the living room is vaguely in the same shape. Like I said, all of the furniture is now natural items and wood grown things that appear to be facsimiles of their counterparts in the real world. Harmony, you know absolutely this is the Never Never. You know you just went through a way. And my question for Percy is, Percy, did Manny come in here with you?
Not the first time.
No, I know. I mean
Mhm.
now.
Yes, I think any opportunity that Percy can get to bring Manny to the Never Never, he is going to take.
And so now all of you, including Nikki, who's already met Manny, see Manny.
Oh,
Well, welcome to the Never Never cast. Also, this is Manny.
huh.
Hi. Nice to meet you all finally.
A pleasure.
Hello.
Hello.
It's
He
lovely
kinda-
to meet you.
He kind of takes Percy's hand, like, just as a matter of course, like now that, and actually, we'll say actually, Percy, as he materializes, you feel his hand in yours as he has been holding your hand this whole time. It just, you can't feel it.
Right. Percy's gonna give it a squeeze, but let go and walk to Siobhan and be like, okay, I'm not great at this. I met Kieran.
Who's
Who?
Kieran is dead.
Okay, who was Karen?
A druid that was handling another lighthouse.
I was gonna say the lighthouse is down.
He was not quite a druid, but he was a keeper of a lighthouse. Yes,
My apologies.
that is all right. Thank you.
I
For-
promised him that I would let you know.
I appreciate it, and I assume. And she kind of looks between Nikki and Percy. You saw his last will and testament.
Yes.
Yes, for as long as we could. That too is gone.
Not unfortunately last long, and in fact, it probably would have not made it another sunrise. So it is good that you saw it when you did. She gets this weird look in her face. I did not know it had fallen.
I'm assuming that's not good.
I take it you don't get the news?
The local traditional mortal news. No, I don't tend to spend a lot of time here. Well, there.
Yeah.
It might not be. It might be wise to at least get the newspaper. Then it wasn't quite front page news, but it was still something.
A lot of paper boys in the Never Never, are there?
Well, I'm not saying from the Never Never. I'm saying a subscription to the newspaper is not that expensive.
Yeah.
Are you? Pardon me. My name's Harmony. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kasara, by the way.
Are,
Lovely.
Nice to meet you.
would you expect to sense if something happened to one of the lighthouses?
The network that is in place should have warned me. Yes.
And the network be broken?
Or manipulated?
Oh,
Maybe and yes.
What'd you see, Percy?
Well,
A woman, and if I missed something, Nikki, please, by
yeah,
all means.
go for it.
But Kieran was sitting down for tea. I believe a woman came in, but her features were, I would say, intentionally indistinguishable. Would you agree with that?
Yes, they were. It's like it was HD quality, but they were like 16 8-bit pixelated. It was really weird.
Kind of veil myself and just kind of like this, kind of.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's actually what it looks like.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
so a veil.
So
Doesn't necessarily make her fair folk. I mean, Andy,
No.
Harmony, Siobhan, all that's a thing. It's a spell.
She then took out Kieran. The details there are a little bit
fuzzy.
fuzzy, and pulled the tower down. with the Force?
Pulled down.
Just kind
It
of
was just like,
grabbed it with her hand and pulled it, but as if there was a string holding the whole thing.
I look over at Andy. Earth magic, you think?
we didn't
Could be.
hear
Be
a
pretty
spell.
strong.
We didn't, at least I don't remember hearing her say anything, is the issue. And also, the voice that came out of her was very masculine. If you remember correctly.
That's
It was-
correct.
Oh, that
And-
can be masked too, I imagine.
And Adam, help me out. The fire happened before the pulling down of the tower.
Correct.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So in the struggle, the surrounding area was lit aflame. I believe something that Kieran did that didn't quite work out.
Lightning, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like Kieran had tried to throw lightning at the creature, and it just parted it around the creature and went to the two different buildings and exploded the buildings. Almost like the magic couldn't touch this creature.
It was as if he was just untouchable. Whatever
Scary as hell.
Karen
His
tried to
powerful
do.
ward.
Oh, that's nothing good.
Does this check out, Siobhan? Would Kieran use lightning magic? Should that lightning magic have not touched something?
Kieran was one of the keepers of the towers. They are, and she kind of looks at Harmony and Andy. Wizards after a fashion, not of the White Council, but of the Druid circles, and he was an apprentice. He was not quite ready to become a full-fledged druid, so not circle or council level, as you might understand it, but he was quite well versed and could take care of himself. He did have a predilection for air magic, so lightning makes sense. It was his favorite part of being a wizard. She kind of gets this like weird far off look that Andy, you're probably the most familiar with. Kasara, you've done enough counseling with grieving people to know like this is a look of like thinking about memories and being wistful and remembering the first time maybe he did something with lightning.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're sorry for your loss. We definitely weren't expecting to find him that way, and we're sorry you didn't get a chance to see it yourself. But we're glad that we were able to inform you, and you can inform your people.
Yes, it seems our network is compromised. Normally, we druids prefer to observe and passively nudge events away from us. We are not as embroiled in things such as the White Council, and so we tend to avoid conflict by seeing it coming and heading it off before it gets too bad. The recent Red Court War has, I'm sure, caught most people by surprise. And while we are not members of the council, we do not wish to see the Red Court usurp their strongholds and the bastions that they protect. So we influence where we can, subtly. But our charge are these lighthouses. And it seems that our charge is under attack quite vigorously.
Who would want to destroy them?
As I told your friends the last time they were here, I do not know. Someone who is trying to find something that they should not know about.
How many lighthouses would it take to compromise
Yeah,
the
The
system?
gate, the
whatever it is.
whatever that's holding them back.
Don't know it. And she kind of like sits back in her chair and laughs. It's quite like asking a person who makes a bridge, how many pylons can I knock out before the bridge falls? It's not probably a question they really consider very strongly, because why would you do that? And she shakes her head. I don't even know if I know how many of these towers have fallen now, that I didn't even, like, motions between Percy and Nikki, that I didn't even know this one fell. So
Is there a
could
way we
be
could check?
too late already. Normally I would say yes with magic, but I am afraid that magic will be of no use here, because someone is manipulating the magic in a way that is masking.
Can you
Or
can you
Cole's actually raising his hand. He just
add additional guards to the remaining lighthouses? Do you have the resources?
chuckles and says, "No, we do not." Yes.
Hi. No, as someone who puts things together, as his day job, speaking on behalf of bridge makers, I would say that the number of pylons that would cause a problem is 0. Anything more than that is probably a problem. I was wanting to ask you about something that we found out about last time and probably aren't supposed to know about, but I need to talk to them. Is there a way I could convince you to give me some sort of connection with the Shepherd Court? They need to know about this war that's brewing, because I think, just like your lighthouses, they're going to get drawn into it anyway. And I'd like to give them a heads up what's up.
Well, they're trapped, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're with the dragons.
It is a noble thought. But as your friend said, they are not in the now. They are in the when. They are in the past.
Okay. Then I guess we need to find this Triskelion thingamabobber.
I don't think I've mentioned that in character yet.
She mentioned it last time, didn't she?
No.
Oh, well, never mind then. There's got to be some way.
I was about to bring it up.
There's got to be, okay, fair enough. And Cole's me thinking about, there's got to be some way to unlock this door, or at least show me where the lock is so I can frickin' pick it.
Or if there's a way to can do time travel as
There is.
Wait, what?
I was told that this conversation was likely to happen one way or another.
Yes. Yes, it was. Almost as if fate has brought you to my door.
There's an item called Triskelion, or something to be assembled called a Triskelion, I gather.
Yes. And she reaches into her, like, underneath her shirt and pulls out the symbol that you've seen, this 3 swirl symbol that kind of interlocks together. And it is one of the Celtic symbols of many, many, many things. Some believe it to be the symbol of past, present, and future. Some believe it to be birth, death, and rebirth. Some believe it to be the symbol of the Druids. And she shows you this swirling, interlocking pattern that is a representation of many different beliefs and mythos in the Celtic and beyond the Celtic religion. And she smiles at you and says, "It is a thing, and it is also not a thing.
Is it a
Just-
person?
No. And yes, the Triskelion is an idea.
Amorphous.
Scallion is a crucible. It will either be shaped by you, or you shaped by it, or it will shatter you.
But if we want to go to Atlantis, we have to go through this crucible.
Yes.
Okay.
How do we start?
That is a good question, Wizard Wells. A very good question. Your other friend has a better question for now, and I need to get something, and I will answer your question when I return. She kind of stands up from her chair, kind of like stretches a little bit and says, "Please make yourself at home. I will be back in a moment." And she kind of shuffles out into the prairie area around this abode, and she starts walking off into the Never Never somewhere.
Time travel works. Do we need a phone booth or something?
That is a pretty good place to take our halfway break.
A DeLorean.
As a druid walks out into the Feywild, or into the Never Never.
Cole's
Think
eyes
well,
freaking
different.
light up when he
D&D
says
joke.
DeLorean.
Rogue RPG.
So, we will take a quick bio and drink refilling / oh my god, what's happening break. And we will be back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Please stick around. We will see you in a few moments. And we're back. I think, maybe, who knows? Yes, we're back. And we are in the Never Never. I keep wanting to say the Feywild. I am playing the wrong edition of this game. So we are going to do a slight recon. Recon? Nope. Retcon. Before the group decided to transition over to the ways, and because Nikki and Percy arrived at Siobhan's first, Nikki was able to very quickly jump off of her motorcycle and make a phone call to little cousin Johnny to try and ask him to ask any of the elders in the wolf pack about an individual known as...
Sorry, I was muted. I was checking sound. That would be John Stevens, the Phoenix, and also just because he's also a nerd and he likes researching stuff, so he could do a little bit of research while I'm doing this shenanigans. Was kind of the idea.
Exactly. So John Stevens, the name that was given to Nikki as the place to start with trying to find a Phoenix that's kicking around somewhere in Portland. So
Totally fine.
that phone call has happened. Nikki has cashed in one of her fate points, and we will see where that leads us eventually. So, jumping back into the present, what do you guys do while Siobhan seemingly wanders away from all of you?
Cass
Andy.
is poking and prodding everything because this is so weird to her.
I'm gonna tell Andy what happened in the in sushi books.
Oh, I'm glad you're telling him.
Yeah,
I'm sitting on the couch. The couch. I'm sitting on the couch.
Andy wasn't sitting at the start of this, but he does the no look, grab side of the sofa, ease himself down
Yeah, I
into
feel
it.
like a large chunk of this was my idea, so I feel like Harmony feels responsible for telling Andy a little bit.
Sure.
So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that happened, and now Kasara is wanted by Yara, maybe, we think.
Geez.
Well, at least wanted by Annabelle and not in the fun way. So,
I'm not sure there is a
God damn
fun way with her. 'Cause does that transformation sound even remotely familiar enough to me that I can make a lore roll to see if I know what? Okay, I didn't think so, but I thought I would
Yeah,
ask.
you were like, wait, the white court vampire turned black? What?
That's weird.
and green eyes.
That doesn't
I rewatched that part.
sound...
That's weird.
Yeah, I was
Shitty.
kind of hoping you would recognize Andy, but that,
No.
okay.
I wouldn't recognize any of that either, would I? Okay, I didn't know. I run across a lot of weird shit, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that sounds, it's not, it rings 0 bells for any of you.
Wonderful.
Way
So,
above our pay grade. Great.
nobody
So-
knows.
There's
That's
something
concerning.
else.
Good, okay.
I don't know if this is connected or not, but it could be because it involves Malks and Annabelle. We think is maybe tied to this whole plot with missing Faye.
Hmm.
So there was the guy I told you about who saw a Malk rip a guy apart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the site, it looked as though the Malk had cleaned up its mess. There was no real evidence. So I used the site to look.
Like the website?
No.
No.
What do you mean?
You were at the site, so of course you used the site to look.
Kasara, you know when you and I soul gazed?
Yes.
Did what?
It's sort of
You were there for that call. You were there.
I don't. You guys stared at each other.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you and I can do it too if you really want to.
It's interesting, let me tell you.
Anyway,
Kind of
that's
wish I could do
that's sort of you have another wizard here you could do it with.
Oh no, I mean
Um,
with clients, I would learn so much
Oh.
so fast.
Not always in a good way, though.
I suppose.
Anyway, that's kind of what the site is like. It's a specialized use of it, but basically, you can be trained to open your third eye and perceive more. It's really hard to describe. More of what's around you. See the truth of things if you can make sense of it
You
enough.
can see energies is maybe a good way to put it. Whether
Yeah.
that's good or
guess-
bad or something in between.
Anyway, it let me see the murder, and there was something wrong with this Malk. Like there was something around its neck that made it like a hood over its eyes almost.
You gotta look at the magic on it.
Does
Yeah.
that?
Something's it tracks with what happened to that elf.
Yeah.
Something's controlling the Fae.
Oh, ooh.
That's
I
Can you-
wonder.
scary as
Hmm.
hell.
Can you figure out what kind of magic caused that? If you've seen that,
It shouldn't be possible to do. So
but you said it was covering their eyes.
it's kind of like when we soul gaze. It's
It's
metaphorical.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy, I know you still have the memory, obviously. Do you think we could find a way to show that memory to someone in the courts?
How does that work?
Maybe
I mean,
Hmm.
that's
I'd bet the lady could pull it out of your head. I can't tell. I can't promise you
Well,
that.
I don't think we want to go that far, but
I don't think that would be pleasant for me.
if we could show that, I mean, the site doesn't lie. If we
Right.
could show them that memory, that should count as proof.
The problem, though, is she could say that we're taking from it what we want.
Could we take someone to the site then, and would they be able to see it as well somehow? I don't know.
Another wizard.
No.
Is it
I mean-
just a wizard thing? It kind of
Yeah.
sounds like
What if you
almost
soul
pretty
gazed
much.
her?
supervision.
I can't.
You can't
Oh.
soul gaze a fae.
Because the whole no soul
Looks
thing.
looks at Cole.
Right.
But
Cole's still mortal.
Not,
He's
not
and
Faye, thank you.
Well,
I can soul gaze Cole. I could not soul gaze the summer lady. She's not a mortal. She doesn't have
What
It
a
about
would be
the
soul.
night?
terrifying if you could.
Yes,
But what-
I would probably just die.
what about the night?
Go insane. The night.
Same.
I don't know enough about how the nights work.
They're human. That's the whole point.
Well,
Well,
then
then,
yes.
yeah, you could.
So
or
that's
you could,
someone.
I somehow don't think the summer night's going to be very inclined to soul
I
gaze
could-
me.
To
reach
be
out
frank,
to him once
I'm-
you guys are away.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure he'll want to soul gaze with me either. He doesn't know me.
But that doesn't really solve the problem. A soul gaze isn't going to show them the memory.
No.
Okay.
It also won't necessarily mean that he would take my word for it. It would just mean he knows something about me now, same way that you do. And I would know something about him. Doesn't mean it's going to engender trust. That's why I did it with you. That doesn't mean that the summer night will take the same thing.
Fair. Okay. So
Hmm.
while useful to us, not useful unless we can figure out what made them go blind.
Or what magic that was. If we could figure out what the spell was.
Maybe
Maybe blind rage.
I was going to
Like
say,
it's a
if-
Well, not even-
shrouds-
But we know it's not blind rage because when we spoke to that elf, they knew that they were supposed to attack the Winter Court.
someone's directing them, but is preying on their own inherent violence, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like with the Malk. It was
And
Malks are violent creatures, but it was less discerning than it should have been.
We need to
you all
find
know more
one.
about this than anybody else.
Malks are hunters. Doesn't necessarily make them violent. I mean, they can be
No.
very good at hunting, and
But you
that's
know-
a violent thing. But they're not indiscriminate.
You know who can make people feel violent?
Mm-hmm.
Annabelle.
Right.
I
Well-
figure she's been behind all this crap for.
But what if
Hey.
she's inciting them to feel this way, to feel this violence, and she's the one driving them? I have no idea if what I can do can even work on a fae or whatnot. I've never tried to my knowledge.
But it doesn't just sound like this was inflamed emotions, though. This sounds like an actual spell effect.
But what if you
Is it, though?
mixed two things? If you mixed a little bit of this anger with a little bit of this green-eyed blackness.
She's
It
got
came
something
we don't know what
more.
that is. We don't know
That's
what
just
that
it.
is.
I mean, yeah, that's the. Oh,
And as I
shit.
said, she can do this without touching. I
What?
have to touch. I have
Wait,
physical
what?
contact. Annabelle can incite rage from a distance.
That's not supposed to
No. You're telling me I have to physically touch somebody in order to incite something. She
I
would.
will let Andy make a lore roll on that.
Ooh, okay.
be. Great result. 4.
Yeah, that is. You're not sure. Yeah, you think Kasara's right that shouldn't be possible.
Good looking out, though. It's good to know that if I'm in the same room, that I'm still.
Don't
in
go.
trouble.
Don't be in the same room as her. That's why it was funny when she decided she was just going to try to touch me. Apparently a poor life choice. But
Yeah.
there's
I'll say.
something. Yeah, I still looks down at the necklace. I'm still gonna have to figure that one out. But there's something going on with her where she's clearly not normal. We knew this before, but even more so now. What could be altering her so that she's got additional power? Because I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they're getting manipulated.
Lots
'Cause
of
that's what
things,
this
but
is.
Context.
None of them are good.
I mean, Adam, I'm gonna assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that Andy and Harmony would both at least have knowledge of demons, right? At least on a basic level. But they
Yeah,
exist.
I mean, yeah, you can. You know how to summon them,
Yeah.
make deals with them, things
So,
like that. Yeah.
there's a lot of
That's-
things you can make a deal with for power. I mean, Fae are only one of those things. You could call a demon, for instance.
Maybe she did.
Yeah. Faust is not as off base as we really wish it were.
It's about that time. Because while listening to you guys spin conspiracy theories, it's my favorite thing to do on Friday night. Absolutely.
Siobhan's got to come back sometime.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
a little bit offended to be in the same category as demons, but please go on.
You're not a fae, as you keep reminding us.
Yeah.
Well, fair.
The aforementioned druid who wandered off starts wandering back. You see her out in the grasses, kind of making her way, and you see that like the prairie-ish grass kind of area is encompassed with trees, like all the way around. Very old trees that don't exist in the United States anymore. We really don't have old growth forests, as we talked a little bit about in session 0, and it feels like the trees that surround this whole area are just big, massive forest trees that are just very old. And it's almost like you're living in a memory of what maybe Portland used to look like before people came. And she comes wandering out of the trees, and she has what looks to be like a map scroll case that is leather bound, and it seems to be like over one shoulder, and she's just walking slowly over to the group of you. And as she walks up into the gazebo-ish area, she unslings the leather pouch and says, "I think this will help." She undoes a latch that undoes the thing and pulls out a map and kind of unfurls it, this nice big piece of vellum paper that looks very old, and she unfolds it, and you see that it is an approximate coastline of Maine, what you know to be about modern day Maine, though it looks a little missing some things, has some things that don't exist anymore, it's a little more up to date than it should be, and a little bit out of date in ways that you don't really understand. But also drawn along it are beacon points, like every so often up and down the coast, that you eventually connect with, oh, these are the lighthouses. And you see massive like ley line like drawings. So some of Harmony and Andy have probably seen like a ley line map before. It looks similar to that, except these lines are drawn in a connecting way that is unlike ley lines. So these are not actually ley lines, but this seems to be the spell that is woven through these coastal lighthouses. And you see that there are at least 70 lighthouses that are a part of this network. You see a couple that have been like faded out as if they have gone away through time. And you get a sense that there used to be more. But over time, things happen and some of them have just gone away, either naturally falling down or whatever.
So how many have we lost thus far? We know of one for sure,
Well,
but
as I said, I don't know. The magic that should have let me know that lighthouse fell did not work. So we could have one left. We could have 20. I don't know. And she kind of motions towards the piece of map. These are the lighthouses that I know should exist. And she points to the one where you both went to, and she says, here is the one that was destroyed.
Are they all, or most of them, near some kind of populated area? If we called and asked, could we?
Many of them have to be by rights, but some of them are quite far removed just to keep people away from the coast. The coast of New England is quite rocky and quite bedrocky, and so it is not always a safe thing to approach with a boat.
All right.
is it
there-
only Maine that the lighthouses are protected, or is it throughout all of New England?
You see that it extends down into New England and like not quite to New York, but pretty much the whole New England coastline.
Okay.
Many of them are in Maine. You would probably be, suffice to say, most of the body of lighthouses are in Maine, but there are several that are still further south.
Is this lock, to oversimplify what this is this something that can be reinforced from the Atlantis side?
No.
Damn.
Oh, I want a copy of this. I guess Cole's gonna try a thing. Take his phone out, try and take a picture, and then turn it off.
Good
It
luck
doesn't-
and never, never.
It doesn't power on. It just doesn't.
Ah,
So,
damn it.
are all of these going to be visible to us, or are some of them going to be masked in some way, shape, or form? I know.
Wait, it's not just one. There's two. Remember Wait, did you tell me about the summer lighthouse that fell? Did you guys tell me about that? I wasn't there for that.
Wait, what?
The what?
The lighthouse that Summer was staying at.
They got attacked.
There was no
There's no
lighthouse
lighthouse.
that Summer was staying at.
Oh, it was just an island.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Well, because they are lighthouses, they have to serve their function, so they are not veiled from humanity. Their true purpose is usually not known. And she kind of like gives the six of you a look like, but you know, you six know now.
Who else
And then she
knows?
like looks at Manny and like, 7.
Who else knows about their true purpose?
Not many. It's a dangerous secret, or so I was told by these.
Listens to wind knows, but
I'm sorry, who is that?
a council member on the White Council.
That thing. Got it.
He
A wizard.
He is probably the closest member of the White Council that follows similar beliefs as the Druids.
The gatekeeper knows also.
The gatekeeper has an inkling. The gatekeeper
Oh,
does
right.
not know. She kind of like she laughs. Rashid likes to think he knows a lot of things, and he does, but he doesn't know everything.
How on the level are those wizards then?
Rashid was my mentor.
I've only heard good things about Listens to Wind.
A few times I've
Okay.
met him, he seemed very on the up and up.
Okay.
And as you guys are kind of like going back and forth a little bit, you see Siobhan kind of frown and look off into the distance.
What is it?
I look also.
You hear that?
Hear what?
Can I roll alertness to
Yeah,
hear?
can any of us roll?
Sure, go for it.
Awesome.
Hey, cool, I get to roll.
I'm rolling.
I am not
Yeah.
very alert.
I will give it a shot.
Hell yeah, that's a 9.
Wow.
I got
Holy
+4
balls.
+5. That's a fucking 9.
Jesus.
Maxed out.
Just a 4.
Legendary plus.
Yep.
Woof.
Exactly. Woof.
Exactly. There you go.
So many of you, no, none of you. Percy, you're like, I don't really hear anything. Nikki, you also don't hear anything. But you don't hear anything in the manner that you know means danger.
Something.
Right.
Like
Okay.
you are a hunter and you know that when everything is still and quiet is when something is about to happen.
We
And
gotta get out
that's-
of here.
That's what she's saying. Is like, wait, all of the sounds are gone. Because
We
you
gotta
now
get out of
realize
here.
there used to be sounds.
Yeah. Birds chirping, etc.
And it is at that point that an arrow into one of the posts of the gazebo-like structure, just missing Nikki as she like leans back, and it basically lands where Nikki had been currently sitting as she sat up. And now we are in initiative.
Hot cuss.
Yikes.
Cuss, 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 cuss.
So
Everybody else is
love
swearing.
that.
I'm trying to think of what I can throw.
I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. my favorite. One of my favorite
Athletics
movies.
are good, but what are their initiatives?
Mine's a 5.
Perfect. So.
Kasara, you still got that wrench?
6 now.
Possibly, but I brought that with. I might have like a pocket full of screws right now, actually. Because I probably would just shove them in my pocket.
I didn't know that, but okay. Why didn't it?
Stress clears between scenes, right? Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, sorry. The combat tractor is being. It's doing a thing. It's doing a thing, and it's driving me crazy. It's no big deal. Okay. Let's see. That. All right, and then all of you need a map. So. Ow. Toe just cracked. New map. Essentially, the gazebo is one zone. Yeah, totally not ominous at all. Singing Wicked Wish of the West. I think I will do this in a pie slice like this.
Da, 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 da. See, now I've got Final Fantasy III's fight music running through my head.
All right. So share this with y'all.
I start
So-
getting Pokemon. Da, 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 da.
Just so you all know, you are. I don't know if I can do this without it. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot, so I'm gonna stop doing that. You guys are all in
Fuse?
zone 1. And the elves that you can now see are stepping one out of zone 3, out of the forest into zone 3, one out of the forest into zone 2, and one out of the forest into zone 4. And moving like gangbusters out of zone 2 are 2 Malks.
Oh, balls.
Elves and Malks.
Great.
God damn it.
And Malks, turns out, have an epic initiative.
Are
So
real
they get
fast.
to go first.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, the good
Don't
news
I get
is
something for
Balls.
rolling so high on alertness? Come on.
Not shot with an arrow.
Yeah,
I got-
exactly. You got not shot with an arrow in their surprise round. Correct.
Damn it. Okay.
They were going for you because they remember who you are, Nikki.
Yankees.
I don't have enough fate points for this.
These
Quote
things
of the game right there.
come
Love it.
ripping out of the forest.
How many Malks are there?
2?
Do.
two
Two Malks, 3 elves.
I mean,
Three
2 more
elves.
than I want there to be.
Yeah.
7 of us.
Yep.
And it
8 if you
will
include Manny.
leap at Kasara.
Rude.
So Kasara, I need you to make a defense roll.
Cool. Wonderful.
Target numero uno.
I'm
No, that was you, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
sorry. And what am
we know
I?
who's sending them.
So
What am I using? Or I choose what I want to use for?
to defend against it, you
Oh,
have
wow.
to use athletics to dodge,
Beauty.
unless you have really good fists, in which case you could use fists because
It's the exact same.
Okay, because this is a melee attack, so the melee
Cool.
attack is coming at you with their claws.
Okay. The 2.
Okay, they have blah blah blah. They rolled a -1 with a +3. Good. So they are at 2 as well. So it's a wash, which means the tie goes to the attacker in Fate. And so they will do 2 harm to you. Or 2
Sure.
physical stress boxes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it for right now.
So you have to either mark off. Yeah, you have to mark off essentially the second stress box
Yep.
in physical.
Glad in.
All right. The second Malk will leap over and go for. They will go for the druid, Siobhan. So the DM gets to roll dice by himself for a second. Holy crap. That's a 2, so that's a 5. And Siobhan defends.
Stop rolling so well, Jesus.
She's really not going to be happy to see us.
2.
Hey, we saved her life that first time.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna save it again. Think positive.
Yeah.
I'm
we have
just
two
saying.
extra we have 2 extra people here now.
Just saying. Whenever we're around, she gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing that's gonna keep happening.
She's also the keeper of a lighthouse, so
Gonna be targeted.
she's a target anyway.
Yeah. It's true.
all right.
But, we are too.
Unfortunately, they rolled the same exact thing, but the Malk has a +1 over her athletics, so she takes 3 stress.
Oof.
Oofa doofa.
You see her get scratched down the side of her chest and arm, and she kind of drops a little bit to the ground, having just stood up from holding the map down, and just this weird fey cat thing snarls and jumps on top of her in a not friendly way. So yeah, good times. All right, that finally brings us to Percy.
Okay. So,
Wait.
part of the World Walker piece is that if I am in an area where the space between the Never Never and the regular world is permeable, which means someone's going back and forth a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I can just go. I don't
Mhm.
have to open the rift. I can just go.
Correct.
I take Manny out of this place,
Okay.
back to the mortal world. So you
That
basically see Percy and Manny pop out. If I can in the same turn, I'm going to pop back in, but that will be up to you.
I will essentially say that is like sprinting. So you like.
Yep. But without Manny. So
Yep. I assume. Manny definitely says, "What the hell are you doing?" as you drag him to the other side. All right. That brings us to Nikki.
Well, because I know that my form does not work very well in this scenario, I'm just gonna shoot my gun. Because I have,
Shoot my gun.
that's a good idea. Yes.
and I have range. So,
Are you shooting at the Malks or are you shooting at the elves?
I'm actually gonna shoot at the elves because they actually have range also. So I may as well
Okay.
go. I'll go for the 1 and 4. I guess I don't know. If you need any specifics on which one I'm going for. So that's a good because my guns is fair and I got a +1.
Okay, well, I rolled a -1, and elves athletics is great. So that's just good.
Yep.
So it's a tie.
Yep.
So the tie goes to the winner.
Yep.
By the winner, I mean you. And so you do how much? Your gun is 2. I'm guessing 2 harm.
I would assume so. Yeah. I have no idea, to be totally honest. But I would think guns. That makes sense for guns.
I'm trying to remember if.
At least I'm rolling with the gun skill. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Murphy's gun would hurt Faye more when she would shoot them. I can't remember.
Well, I think she was also purposely using iron
Yeah.
bullets.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Most-
the first time when they were like just like, I don't think she had her gun. So we'll say you're smart enough. Your rounds have enough iron in them that they hurt these things. So it actually does 2 harm and not less than that.
Okay.
She's known me for a while, I guess.
Well, and
I-
Nikki is part of a pack of wolves that hunt things, so she
Yeah.
knows better.
And I'm aware of Faye.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Yeah.
Are you moving at all? Or are you staying in the pavilion area?
yeah, I'm staying in the vicinity.
Okay. That brings us to Kasara.
Cool. First question. Would you say I still had that wrench from earlier? From the back of the pickup truck, or did I leave it?
I will allow it.
Cool.
Hey.
Wonderful. That said, I'm still gonna tap into my inhuman strength.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is, she's been running mostly from the battle, or before that it was, not, the numbers were kind of, there's a lot here right now. So I'm
Mhm.
tapping into inhuman strength, and I'm gonna hit this stupid thing that hurt me with wrench.
All right. So
Oh, yeah.
mark a hunger and roll.
Oh, I did.
Get him.
That'll be a 7.
Nice.
They rolled an 8 to defend.
Oh, wow.
What the shit?
I will spend a fate point on this one.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I'm throwing a fate in this one.
So what are you tapping?
Ethical shade of gray. She knows she's not supposed to hurt things, but at this point, is this really something I'm not supposed to be hurting? So,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'll say your wrench is. I'll say
Up
it's
to you.
1 harm weapon.
Okay.
And so you bypass its catch and auto
Yeah.
deal damage to it. And you deal an additional damage because if you spend 2, you're actually at 9. And
Mhm.
so you're 1 over. So it's actually 2 harm.
Good.
Nice.
So yeah,
Strength
you definitely
adds
hear
a
this
couple
like,
shifts.
oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what does your inhuman strength add?
So that's just it. It depends on, I think, there's different effects. But it looks like, so
Attacks that depend on muscular force, you're at +2 to damage.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's an additional +2. So you get his fourth. You do 4 damage, and you check his 4th box. He's still
Good.
standing, but you look like you rang his bell pretty hard.
Good.
Nice.
And you definitely hear this like caterwauly like as you just like clock him in the head with this wrench.
Yep.
And it,
My cat thanks you, Adam. He's looking around.
all right. Now it's
Perfect.
alpha clock. So y'all are gonna get peppered with arrows. So let's see. I attacked
Attack
Kasara.
Kasara,
Nikki.
Nikki, and that's it, right?
I think
Siobhan.
so.
Okay.
And Siobhan.
Popped out.
And Siobhan. I knew I
Siobhan.
I knew I attacked somebody else. And Siobhan, yes. So I will attack Cole, Harmony, and Andy with the elves.
Great.
So
Spreading the love.
Each of
Yeah.
you, yes, each of you must make a athletics defense roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Brings you to spend a fate point to re-roll that -4.
You have to ready magic blocks in advance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we didn't do that.
Well, you guys got
Didn't have a chance.
surprised.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Yes, that's a.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite of what you want.
That's not good.
That's not what I wanted.
No.
Everything else would be better.
I think I'm just gonna take the hit and get hit.
that's a.
Cause
It's gonna be a hell of a hit.
Yeah, you might be out from that.
Well, no, but she'll take a consequence. That's okay. That's okay. I got you, fam.
True.
We also have another healer. Siobhan can heal.
Yeah, if Siobhan survives. I mean, what?
Don't like it when Adam uses the word if anymore.
I don't either. No.
It's a lot of
If
ifs.
so-
I'm paying attention to them too.
So we'll go. Harmony, you'll be thankful. We'll go in the order of the initiative tracker, because the first elf rolled a 7.
Yikes.
Oh. So that's a 5 shift past your defense roll, Cole.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2 harm weapon, so that's 7 damage.
Mm-hmm. I think I may make it a 5 because I'm a puka cat burglar and I'm pretty tricksy.
Okay.
So that's a 5.
That's
I've got
5.
I got a leather jacket for 1 armor, which will make it a 4.
Okay.
I'll mark my 2 box and take a mild consequence.
Okay. We'll say you've got an arrow in you. It limits your mobility. You will not be able to essentially sprint the zones.
That's all right. I'll be able to get to. He's in a zone adjacent to me. I'll get to move there.
Right. But you wouldn't be able to, you can't move more than 1 zone. So if
That's
you
fine.
wanted to move 2 zones, you couldn't.
Target
All right.
acquired.
Okay. The next one was just a +1, so it's a +5. Well, +1 on the roll, +4 attack, so it's a +5 to Harmony. With your -2,
Oh no!
that's 7 + 2 is 9 damage.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm gonna have to spend a fate point here, or I'm just going out, and that's gonna be real bad.
Yep.
Severe consequence plus your
Or
third stress box.
if she spends his fate point to re-roll her dice, because now she knows what the attack is. You
Yeah,
can make that decision. So
I-
now you
I-
can make that decision.
I will spend a fate point to re-roll my dice.
Yeah, everything you get is going to be better. So
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's literally no way I could roll worse.
exactly.
Yep. Correct.
So,
Okay. So you spend your fate point. Woo!
oh, that's a lot better.
Hell of a lot better.
Boom!
Went from a -4 roll to a +3 roll. What a turnaround.
That you can't. Again, there's only one result that could swing that farther.
So now it's tied. Instead of taking 9 damage, you're taking 2 damage.
Okay, I can take that. Woo, woo.
Huh. Sometimes it's just worth it.
That was a hell of a comeback.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the dice are all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback. She's been here for years.
And lastly, the last elf rolls a -1 on the die. +4 is 3. So that ties you, Andy, and you will be taking 2 damage unless you do anything to stop that.
I'll just take it.
Okay, so you take a 2 stress box.
Ow.
As an arrow kind of like graces past you and forces you to like twist out of the way in a manner that is stressful physically. All right, that brings us to the middle of the order. Batting cleanup as Cole Trickle.
All right. I'll swing the old redneck sword out from under his jacket. Supplemental move to reach to get into the same zone and right up to the elf what shot me.
Okay, so are you going? So we'll say for the sake of brevity that the elf that shot you was also the elf that Nikki shot.
All right. I'll take them odds.
Yep.
All right. And I will make a weapons attack on this fella.
Okay. He will roll his defense. What was I using for the elf? I was using these dice.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Good. So that's a 2 on the die with a +3 for a total of +5.
Yep.
I have rolled +1 on the die with a great defense, so it's tied.
All right.
But that means you do damage,
Mm-hmm.
and your weapon is.
So
Rebar.
it's rebar. So it
Good.
does.
Did I tell you +1 or +2? Do you remember?
I've got it written down as weapon 2.
Okay, then it's a weapon 2.
That makes the
And,
most sense too, because it's like it's a sword.
3 foot long. Yeah, it's
So you do 2 damage,
Object.
but his 2 damage box is already checked, so he's got to upgrade that bad boy to a 3. He is not out, but he's looking rough.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like the fact that you got close to him.
Sorry, buddy.
Harmony.
Yeah, so first thing, Harmony shouts, keep one of them alive. We need them.
What's the point?
We've got to be able to prove that there's something wrong with them to the courts. And then, thankfully, thank you, GM, these are Fae. Harmony's going to flambe herself an elf.
Hey.
So I'm going to be using some fire at the elf that shot me in
Okay.
retaliation. I am capable, without taking any additional mental stress, of calling an epic power level.
Hell yeah.
Is that
Yes.
a rope?
It is.
It's not a rote,
Okay.
but she can call that much power. Can you control it?
Well, so my discipline is great, and my focus item gives me a +2. So
That's a
+6.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic. So you have to still roll.
I still have to roll.
But you have called up an epic amount of fire kick ass, and we'll see what happens after you roll to see what this spell looks like.
Cast fireball, of course.
Yes. Precisely.
We have to pull in all the D&D references we can, right?
Oh God, really?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait. So the 3 + 2, I just have to equal what I called up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm at 5 right now, so I could spend my last fate point.
Can
And-
I recommend not?
Well, that's
Because-
true.
Because you didn't mean to do that, and maybe you could get a fate point instead.
That's true. I will take the fate point for I didn't mean to do
I'm
that.
just
If you're
not-
willing to give it to me, and I will let it go as
Fallout.
Fallout.
just suggesting to the GM. I'm just kind of
Yep.
throwing that out there.
All these
So-
beautiful trees.
And you guys are in a building.
Flammable house.
Wood. So
yeah,
absolutely.
but she's aiming at the trees. That's better than the gazebo that we're in.
You see?
It's all.
That's how this is gonna work. That's how it's gonna work when the DM compels you. So, what does this spell look like normally? What is it supposed to look like? And then
It's just supposed to be. It's like a classic gout of flame, very Dresden-esque.
all right. So you basically, and what do you say in Gaelic?
Oh
to
yes.
conjure this?
So actually, I did
fiery-
actually create a great power level version of this as a rote. I'm just pushing it up. So so I probably am pronouncing this horribly wrong, but it's Lasair, which is flame strike in Gaelic.
Very cool. And I assume like when Dresden like does the like crazy fuego, like he says like other syllables on it to make it
Yeah.
even crazier and crazier high level of a fuego spell. You basically do the same thing and shout. And this spinning gout of flame does in fact like take off after this elf. But as it spins, you see these sparks of flame like shoot out as it goes towards the target is intended. So I rolled my defense with a +1 on the die. There's a 5 defense. So your let's see what how much fallout are we getting here? We're getting 2 fallout.
Yeah, I was at a 5 with my
And you needed a 7.
discipline.
Okay, yeah. So you only do 5. You're only doing 5 weapon. Because wizards are insane. So the elf like goes to duck out of the way and like trips and it just like is incinerated and he's just gone. Because you've taken him out. I'm assuming you're trying to kill him.
Oh yeah. No, we only need
So-
one of these alive.
Yeah,
I
just a
fully
7
intend to
shift
kill
hit.
the other ones.
Yeah, so elf number 2 is goodbye. Have a nice life. You're done. So I will delete elf number 2. It's just like, it's just gone. And you guys are all like, oh, okay. That was a little scary.
This is the first time you've really seen Harmony cut loose, except maybe Andy.
With
And
fire, yeah. Just
You
yeah,
still take a point of-
currently the building is on fire. It's not a problem yet,
But it might
Yeah.
be in the future.
but it's gonna be a problem in the future.
You still take a point of mental stress for that, though, right? Since it's not a rote.
Yeah, I do still take a point of mental stress, but only one, because I'm capable
Right.
of that.
Only one. All right, that brings us to Andy.
Okay. Well, I can do something similar with lightning. I can't. I can't call up an epic lightning bolt, but I can call up a fantastic one.
Yeah.
is that all?
Is that all?
That
Yeah,
is-
I'm just using a level 6 weapon because I'm a siege engine.
So there's one Malk that no one has touched yet, right?
Technically, yes.
The one in Shaban. Or Shaban.
But Kasara, you.
I did. Oh, that one is very close to being dead to rights at this point. So I would assume, anyways. I don't know. I did 4.
Yeah, I did quite a bit of damage.
Trying to decide if I should take out that one or get the one that is on Siobhan.
Getting out one now would mean that there's when they come up to attack
Yeah,
soon, it is
that's-
one less on it.
Fair. Yeah, I guess I'll double up on the one that Kasara clocked
With a wrench.
with a wrench. Yeah. And because my lightning is air, and one of my so it's a 6 shifts of power for power, and one of my evocation positions is 1 to control air magic, and then I am at 5 to control it with. So I gotta just what?
I just realized I screwed up because I actually had an additional +1 of control for my fire. I don't know if it matters.
Okay, he's more dead.
No, I meant in terms of the fallout, though.
It's the building is still on fire.
Yeah, if you'd known you'd had one,
Slightly
if
less
you'd known
on
you'd had
fire.
more control, you would have called more power.
So I'm Andy's doing something similar to Harmony in that he is basically just leveling up a rote. because I have a road for this, which is Fulmotondro, which means thunderstorm. So basically just calls lightning down.
Okay.
Legit called
on this
lightning.
guy.
Roll
Yes.
your discipline roll.
I love it. Pulling all the D&D spells.
There's a way to make this add a 1 to it, right?
Yeah, so if you put your
There we
mouse
go.
on modifier and
Got
it says
it.
adjusting, then type 1.
Got it. Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no!
What?
Oof.
That's 2.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to re-roll.
Yeah.
Sure. What are you tagging?
I'm a tag my eye concept, I guess. I'm a wizard of the white cancel. I got this. Let's try that again. Please.
Well, yeah, it was, like I said, it was like they say, it couldn't get much worse. So that's still 1 short.
That is still 1 short. Yes. Balls.
So, as a reminder, since wizards haven't cut loose in a while, you can let it go as fallout, or you could do it as backlash and take a point of physical or mental stress and let it go. And it will act like you want it to, because you're
Right.
1 short. So you basically can pick if you want to take mental stress or physical stress, and it would be 1, or it's essentially whatever you're missing that gap is. And so in your
Yeah.
case, it's 1. So you could just take 1 stress.
I'll take 1 point of mental stress.
Okay, so now that's going to be 2 mental stress, 1 for the spell casting
Yep.
and 1 for the backlash.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure we're
Because
clear.
I've already got 2 boxes on my physical stress track, so I don't really want to fill that up.
Well, wait,
Why not?
you marked your number 2 box, right? This would mark your number. Oh, that's fair. No,
Yeah.
I get it.
So yep, you let go, and yeah, the monk's gone. It rolled a 5 defense. So you did 7 damage to it. Yeah, he gone. So we'll delete Malk number 1.
Good.
Now there's just the Malk that's harassing Siobhan. Speaking of which, it's Siobhan's turn now.
I was gonna say.
Siobhan gets this weird ethereal light that kind of like just covers her whole body, and she stares at the Malk and she says, "In my house?" And she reaches out, makes a fist, and just pulls it down. And you watch as the earth itself starts reaching up and grabbing onto the Malk as these hands essentially just grab it and hold it in place.
I love her.
The wood of the place, while it is burning, also starts wrapping around the Malk slowly and securely, essentially tying this thing up and holding onto it. And she just says no. And you didn't hear her say any words to cast the spell. So that's a thing. That's a thing. We come back to the Malk, who cannot get free. They are currently under a block that they cannot outdo. So even if I rolled perfectly, it would not work. So we are now to Percy.
Leave that Malk alone.
We have 2 elves remaining. Do I
2
have
elves
that
remaining.
correct?
Yes, as far as you can see.
One is
One's with-
completely unharmed.
Yes, and one is
I
with Cole.
I am not a harmer. That is not the thing that I do. I would like to create an advantage.
Okay. How are you creating an advantage?
I'm going to use my investigate to see if there is a way that our magic users can knock loose whatever spell. See if they're moving weird, if there's anything they're defending by like their movements, making sure they don't get hit in a certain space, something like that.
Okay. Make an investigation. Make an alertness roll. Because you're trying to observe them. Investigate's a little bit more
Gotcha.
like
Can't really investigate on a battlefield.
yeah.
Putting a tactical assessment on them or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm assuming. Okay. And then see what I roll. Oh, rolled pretty well actually. Oh wait, you were doing the elves. Hold on, let me roll different dice because elves dice. Elves roll terrible. So yes, you definitely are able to put some kind of tactical assessment on them. It's not necessarily because of the spell that they're under the influence of, but it's more you start to see patterns of like how they're running around and shooting, and you are able to call out like, wait for them to do this maneuver. And so we'll say you've essentially tagged them with obvious attack pattern or something like that that allows you to either tap it for defense because you can see the attack coming, or to attack them because you can time where they're going to be and you can nail them.
And there should be one free compel on that, I believe.
And there will be one free tag because you rolled much higher than their defense.
Just want to make sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Nice.
It is, and it is sticky as well. It's not fragile. It's sticky with one free compel.
And then after that, we can just pay fate points to use it.
And then after that, you have to pay fate points. Yes. All right, that's cool. Anything else? Are you gonna move out of the flaming building of death?
Everyone else is still in the flaming building of death.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's not our round yet, so.
I kind of forgot to move out of it on my turn.
Andy just shaking his head. Harmony.
He's going to get close to Siobhan and kind of look to her for guidance about the fire, but he's not leaving yet.
Okay. Noted. All right, Nikki.
Well, since we already have one tied down, I was gonna kneecap some elves to. Well, I still can do that. Yeah, I'll kneecap the one that Cole is currently fighting.
Okay.
And when you were fighting, so yeah.
To give him an advantage.
So are you trying to give Cole an advantage, or are you trying to attack the elf?
I'm trying to give him an advantage against his next attack, basically.
Okay, so this will be an assessment action essentially rather than an
Heart
attack.
hands.
So roll. You can still roll guns.
Okay.
And he'll roll defense, but
It's
you're
more
trying
of
to
an aimed, like a more specific shot.
you're
It's
trying to
called
like
shot.
you're trying to like pin him down or like pin him in place or whatever. Yeah, I get what you're doing.
That's a wash, so that's a 2.
Well, he rolled a -1, and that equals for his defense. So that's a 3. So unfortunately, he beats your ability, your assessment. So he is not pinned down. But it was a good
I'll actually spend a fate point and use only comfortable in the wilderness.
Okay.
Because we're in.
Oh wow, are we in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Sure.
So that adds +2. So then that is enough. And actually, you exceed it by 1. So it's sticky, and with a free compel.
There you go.
All right. Very cool.
And I do leave the gazebo. Because fire still hurts.
Yes, it does. That brings us to Kasara.
Cool. So there's really just elves, right?
Yeah, there's elves out, and there's 2 elves like shooting into the gazebo, and then there's the Malk that's like currently wrapped up in its little bed of earth and wood.
That one's not too much of a concern. I see the other elves. So I see the 2 elves that have been shooting. So I think what I'm probably going to do is, if I can, step out of the gazebo, tap into some more of that inhuman strength, because why the hell not? And throw this goddamn wrench at one of them.
Nice.
Sure. Why the heck not?
Yeah. Kick some ass.
So This is technically now a.
This will chill Nikki out a ton. Like, seeing you actually able to fight will, like...
I think this is a weapons thing. Weapon is thrown, right?
Improv weaponry was weapons when I did it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's technically you're throwing it, so I just want to make sure.
I mean, yeah, that's just it. I'm throwing.
You
I'm
can
putting
move
something
a
into
zone
it.
for nothing
Yeah, you could move up to it.
and just beat
Okay,
it.
if I can just get up to it, then we'll just do that.
Okay, so then
Then I don't lose my range.
Then it's
I
weapons.
think you'd have to go pick
Cool.
it up again, and
And it's just a pan bet. But I am also marking my hunger to tap into my strength again because I see that face. I see that.
Mhm.
I understand what you're doing here,
It's
sir.
so great that you're surrounded by a bunch of mortals if you fail the discipline roll.
Oh God.
Mortal. That's... Mortal
Hey,
is
I'm-
relative.
I'm every bit as mortal as Kincaid is.
Mhm.
It's only no, but plus that one, so it's actually a total of 4.
All right. Oh God, my dice. No.
Don't lose them.
1. So you said 4.
Yeah.
That is a 4. So it ties. So it goes to you.
Yes.
You are going to a different elf, I assume, than the one Cole's on.
Sure.
But it's up to you. I'm just.
Has the one that Cole was on has they taken damage yet? Has they?
It has.
Yeah, it's taking quite a bit.
I'm gonna go after that one then, actually,
Yeah,
specifically.
no, go ahead.
Okay. So you meet it. Your weapon we said was a 1. You
Yeah.
do additional 2 damage. So that's 3 damage. Its
Mhm.
3 track is already ticked, so it goes up to 4. So it has no more tracks left. But it's still up. And because
Well,
you're
she also has the compel on it too, because that's the one that I shot in the knee too.
well, you did not successfully shoot it in the knee. That was the thing. Like you tried.
Oh
to,
right.
Yeah.
No, I thought
No,
I,
she spent
no, I
fate
upped
points
it.
to succeed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did. You did. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to compel, you can do an additional 2 damage and take it out.
Sure. Compel.
There you go.
Use
do
it.
you want to knock it out or kill it?
There's still one standing. No, I kill this one.
Okay, so you just boom, just kill it. All right.
She doesn't actually probably also realize what she's doing at this point because she's tapping into her own strength. She would I don't think Cass actually had that mental choice. She is just trying to hit things at this point.
So you beat his defense by how much?
So
Bunch.
he had 4. She had 4, so it was tied.
Okay.
So then she tapped the free tag to get
so
to 6.
beat by 2,
So beat by
So
2.
then I have the
So
spare.
it's a 1
strength
damage.
of 2,
3 damage.
and then 1 from the
Yeah.
range.
plus 5. So she did 5
Yeah.
damage to him, and he doesn't have a 5th track, so he gets taken out.
Nice.
And it's
Nice.
up to the player whether or not they take him out mercifully or not. That was not merciful.
No, Cass isn't thinking mercifully right now. I don't think.
So now it's the last elf's turn, and seeing you all just destroy his friends and allies and whatever, he shoots an arrow at Kasara.
Mm. Athletics? Yeah.
Yep. Terrible.
Jeez. That's not gonna be anything good. It's a 0.
Okay, so he rolls a 5 total, 1 on the die and plus 4. So you are
can-
looking at a bunch of damage.
Yeah. Can I?
There's another free aspect that Percy placed that you can use.
If you can use the
Yes.
if you can use your own fate
Yep.
points and leave the free
That's
aspect
what I'm
for the
thinking.
wizard,
I'm gonna.
that'd probably
I've
be better.
I've got some fate I can use in this case. I still
Either
have
way, I
fate.
mean, it both aspects are still there. They just cost
Yeah.
fate to use.
It also seems like it's about to piece out. Also,
I'm going to spend a fate point
Okay.
to. I'm gonna re-roll. To be totally honest, because that would be
Okay.
And what was the total? Like, let me see how this-
5 is the total.
That only gets me to a 3
Okay.
total.
If you use this another fate point and you tag the aspect that Percy put on, that will get you to 11.
Yeah.
Or not.
Well, she
To 5.
didn't
That'll
use-
give me a
she-
match.
She didn't use it before, though.
No, I didn't.
That'd
Yeah,
be,
she hasn't used it yet.
wouldn't cost her another fate point. It'd be free.
Well, she could
No,
tag
I'm
it for
using
free,
fates.
or she could use her fate points so someone else who doesn't have enough fate points could tag it.
That's just it. Is I have fate, so I will use fate to tie it up to 5.
Okay,
enough.
and so now you only take 2 damage
Okay.
Nice.
because his weapon is 2. And as surmised by Nikki, he begins to run back into the forest.
Oh, is he close enough to chase?
Yeah, I could say that I'm in that zone that he's in.
I don't have
I
inhuman
did say-
speed, though.
I have inhuman speed.
Only if you're a wolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
That's
could
gonna go after
change.
them, but that's probably not good.
Yeah, you should keep spending those hunger points there, Kasara. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that one.
Figured you might be.
So
Whose turn is
it's-
it?
It goes to Cole. Cole, you watch as the elf turns and just starts booking it into the forest.
Oh, man. Huh. Would one of the 2 situational aspects out there, if I tapped into either of them, put me in a position to intercept him?
Well, the one Nikki put out was on one elf specifically.
Mhm.
The one that has been taken out.
Yeah, fair enough.
This elf has a obvious pattern of attack, so you could tap it to help you do something. And it is only 1 zone away from you currently because of
Okay.
the way zones work, because it decided to take a shot instead of moving 2 zones. So
If I can get to him, I want to try and get to him.
okay, you will be at a -2 because if you're going to be moving 2 zones. 'Cause you're going to be moving a zone and then a zone to him.
Okay.
But you can still do a thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. -2, you said? All right, fair.
Oh, wait.
Or is it -1?
You took a mild consequence. You can only move 1 zone. So you, Percy, or you, Cole, you cannot catch him.
I will actually use supernatural recovery to wipe out that consequence.
So now you can catch him.
What consequence? I don't know what you're talking about.
So now you can catch him.
Yep. Just get up to him and try and knock him right the hell out
Okay.
if I can. All right, let's see. Please roll well. Please dice work for me.
Come on, you got it.
That's not dice working for me.
no.
That's
That
not
was
dice working for
bad.
me at all.
They really
No,
don't like us today.
I'm
What?
thinking-
But then I also got that +4 craziness too.
Yeah,
so.
there's a couple. Yeah, we've had a lot of anyway, but that doesn't matter. I'm on trying to think what aspect I'm going to tag here.
Yeah, what are you going to tag?
I'm doing this.
Friends are an anchor.
I was also gonna mention that one.
That's one. The other thing, though, part of the reason I'm trying to take this guy is so that I can take him to the summer lady. So maybe my Faye ex-girlfriend is my motivation here.
Okay. Wrong court, but sure.
Oh well, the Faye.
Yeah, no, I get.
The more Faye aspect of
Yeah, I mean, just that, keeping, honestly, if I can take him to the summer lady, that protects my winter girlfriend, sorta, kinda.
Yeah, if you stop the fight. So,
I
okay.
stop a war, yeah.
So you're re-rolling, I'm guessing, since you got -3 on the roll.
Yeah, we're going to re-roll that. Oh, that's not much better. All right.
So that's -2.
Yeah, giving me a result of 1.
1.
I'm going to tag Percy's
Free.
freebie to bring it up to 3.
Okay.
And yeah, and the one that Nikki put out disappeared with the elf that
Is dead.
Yep. Unfortunately, he rolled a 5
All right. Well,
on
that's all right.
his athletics check to get away from you on his
Okay.
defense roll. So he manages to like put his bow in the way of your redneck katana.
Redneck katana. Yeah.
That's what you called it, and is blocked it. So that brings us to Harmony.
I got nothing. If you can get him from range.
But from 2 spaces away, I don't know.
Oh, Harmony,
Oh.
you're muted.
Oops, sorry.
Nope.
I can move forward 1 zone and still do something, right?
Yeah, and getting someone from a zone or 2 away is not
It's
impossible.
Not that, yeah, I was gonna say.
Can you in the spell just devote a shift or 2 to range?
She could.
Well, I mean, so the question is, do we want to kill this one or keep it alive?
May as well have one of each court alive.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Do what you can. I mean, your call.
Well, I could capture it essentially using my
Earth
my
magic.
little earth bubble thing.
You good?
Yeah, I'll do that. So I have that as a rote at great, but
Mm-hmm.
can I do it at a higher power level? How does that
Yeah.
work?
It's just like any evocation. You can do whatever you want. It's just not a rote, so you have to roll.
So I have
you
to-
would have to roll discipline.
Right. Okay. So shoot, I could go the whole way up to epic with this as well.
Yep.
My discipline is only superb for this, but
It's sure nosebleed.
I'll do it because I'm worried about these creatures getting away. So I will. There's no penalty for me to cast it at epic.
Other than the 1 mental stress you normally take.
Other than the 1 mental stress I would normally take.
Freaking wizards, man.
And then I will roll. So I have great discipline +1.
Okay.
Making sure I've got all my modifiers this time because I didn't last
Yep.
time.
Yep.
All right.
Ooh, +1
There you
is
go.
7. Bam!
So what do you say when you cast this Domi spell? I forgot.
Yes, so the words I chose in Gaelic, it's Critham Hain, which is Earthbind.
Yeah. So essentially, this elf's like, and this little dome of earth, just like geode thing, just and eats him. And you, Cole, because you're close enough, you can hear a thunk as he bounces face first off the front of the essentially new dome that has appeared in front of him. And that is a good place to end for the night because we're pretty much at 11. The battle is over. You have 2 hostages. Pretty well done. Good job, everybody.
Harmony, no scope. Yeah.
And you have a white crit vampire who's not probably going to be doing okay very soon.
Oh, she's gonna be
Yes.
fine.
We
We're
will
gonna be a little
return to
drained.
that because that might get interesting, and I don't want to drag us too late with that. So we will remember that you have a 2 hunger discipline roll to roll next time.
Oh, and I'm out of like physical. I'm like 4 boxes are full, and like she is not in a good space.
Oh, you tapped it that many times? I thought you only tapped it once.
Because I took 2 the first time, then 2 the second, or did I do that wrong?
I thought you just put. I can look it up. We can look it up.
Check. We'll check.
Look it up.
Either way, she's not in a good way.
I got you, fam.
So
You sure?
we'll see how it
Supernatural
goes.
recovery, my friend.
Yeah. So, I am the DM, and Adam. You can find me on the Twitters at Adam_J_Pearson, where I tweet about stuff. It's great. And I will let my amazing cast outro themselves. We'll start in reverse order with Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. You can find me at ABCDFAR on the Twitters, where I don't really talk about a lot of things. I just mostly say hello to other people. But that's fine. You can find me here Friday nights. I don't have anything else to plug. I'm super excited for next week. Or wait, yeah, next week. I was gonna say.
Not quite yet to the week off.
Yep. That's it.
Awesome. Continuing around in a circle, back to CJ.
Hey, I'm CJ. I'm on Twitter and Twitch at Commander Pulsar. I tweet about gaming stuff and food. I stream on Saturday morning. Tomorrow, instead of being in the kitchen, we're going to be building Legos. I have a Star Wars Lego build to do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the shenanigans we get up to next week because, yeah, it's super fun.
It is. It's very fun. All right. Moving along to Zach.
Hey, I'm Zach. You can find me at Sir Gorals on Twitter. Talk about nerdy stuff like everybody else. You can find me here on Fridays. And yeah, I'm also eager to see how this goes, especially since we have maybe a discipline roll coming up first thing with a character who's not super great at discipline rolls.
Oh, and a fire.
Yeah, I was going to use my next turn to
I can put that out. Don't worry about it.
Literally everything's on fire.
I mean, we've got so
fine.
many fires. There's all the fires, folks. Hey, howdy. Every fire.
Every fire indeed. Well, sure, it's fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Continuing around the corner to Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie. You can find me online on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue. That is the best place to find me and all the shenanigans that I am up to. You can also find me on alternating Sundays on Goldheart Gaming, where we're playing Legacy of Eldrin, where I play my little tiefling warlock who she pantsed a guy with Unseen Serpent last week. So, lots of fun. And otherwise, you can find me doing stuff with the Mage College, which is a TTRPG third-party content creator. Recently, on our Patreon this week, we came up with the Eternal Warlock Patron, which is, we're doing a lot of time travel stuff this month. So, yeah, it's all time manipulation. It's been fun.
College of Therapy.
Oh, yeah, that was Derek. Oh, my God, that child. Don't give him ideas. Just don't. Don't. That's what happens.
Yes, indeed. Excellent.
Okay. Yep.
So, continuing down the track to Danielle.
Hi everybody, I'm Danielle. I'm at RyRacontor on Twitter and also on Twitch. Much like everyone else here, you can follow me for nerdy content ranging from TTRPGs the whole way to cosplay and beyond. You can catch me here on Variant Rolls on Wednesdays at 7:30 for Dungeons and Deductibles, which I DM, where my wonderful claims adjusters for Waterdavian Farm are currently trapped in a crypt beneath the City of the Dead. Nothing can go wrong. And you can find me tomorrow, actually at 12:30 on Other Doc's channel, where I will be playing my other fire-slinging character, Vor, who we're doing a development session. So come check out Invisible Sun.
Awesome. Yes, everybody should play Invisible Sun at least once in their life. It's amazing. Moving last, but certainly not least, Nick.
Hello, I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter at 2KNick, TWOKNIKK. I tweet about nerd stuff and wrestling, which is really another nerd thing. And I am also the tech lead for Roll for Change. We recently had our last stream of the year, so we're currently in hibernating mode. We have made over 11,000 lifetime for quite a few charities that need it. And once we stop being on hibernating mode, I will be GMing a Masks game on that very channel. The third and final season of that story where people will die.
What a great plug. I love it. Hopefully no one dies here soon.
Big
Anyways.
GM energy.
Yes, that is us for this evening. Thank you all for coming along and watching my lovely band of miscreants set fire to gazebos and things like that. Please join us next Friday for
Endanger
our
14-year-old children. It's fine.
second to last episode of season 1. We will see what shenanigans these crew get up to then. And stay whimsical, stay hopeful, and is it Friday yet? Good night, everyone.
Good night. See you next time.